Avast, ahoy, and good day once again to ye mateys! I be your eager and forthright DM, Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more pleasure than listening to the first rain in weeks whilst lying in a comfy bed to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove and my Humblewood world for some more of Midnight and Madness. With me, I have my hearty crew, happy to solve a case of missing persons on the moon, it's Rachel Fukar, and happy to help a case of something go missing, it's Ro. So guys, tell me about yourselves. Rachel, who the absolute heck are you?
Hello, my name is Rachel Fukar. I'm a writer, actor, creative trash at large. You can find me on various social media at Rachel Fukar, because that is my name and no one else's. And you can find the book that I wrote, The Rings of... Wait, no, wrong one! Hybridize! There's a new one! Book Hybridize. On the internet right now. It's a murder mystery. It's on the moon. Cyberpunk. It's fun. I'm very proud of it.
Can confirm.
Thank you.
Karen has already read it.
Yay!
I have
Karen has
also
read it.
already read it, and I endorse heartily.
I'm quite proud of it. So you should get it because it's good. Damn it.
Yeah, it is. I'm about 50 pages in, and Karen has already read it. She got it first because she wasn't feeling too great a couple of nights ago. I'm like, here, read this. And well, she finished it. So, and Ro, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Ro. I'm a Perth-based educator and theatre maker. You can catch me here on Monday nights. I'm also over on Jack Squarepeg's channel in the upcoming adventures. We're doing a Call of Cthulhu cowboy style that is coming out on June 6th, which is very exciting. And you can follow me on Instagram at Cradventurers to see photos of my dog Charlie with the large ears. My many travel adventures, upcoming adventures include the Kimberley and any projects in the meat space.
The music didn't die, Tony. It just went home. This is Sirenscape, and Sirenscape are great. And the music that I have chosen to be sort of my intro music is on a slow loop, and it has a break in it for a couple of minutes every now and again. I don't know why I haven't switched. It's just habit at this point. It's been 3 years, and you know what? I like Inner Forest. And I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games, like Jason Statham's Big Vacation, with my lovely wife Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends. But you know that already, because you've done it. You're here. Most of you never been here before. If you have been here before, I'm not surprised. And if you haven't, well, welcome, you fuckers. You're great. Thank you for coming. We love you. We're Australian. You may have noticed. And so, yeah, if you like my majestic voice, but you think I could stand to turn the face down a bit, you could check me out on the podcast Debbie Dragons, where I played the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar. Look, it came back. And his little dragon, Rosh. It's very small dragon. Good fun. Check it out there. Don't think there's anything else really to be talked about. We are raising money to support the Ukrainian people who are having an ongoing issue. I don't know if you've noticed with Russia. Bit of a problem. So if you don't mind, if you have any spare pennies in your digital wallet, please consider chucking them over at the Ukrainian Action Appeal, the Emergency Action Appeal for Ukraine. It is a coalition of charities and not-for-profits who are raising money to help the Ukrainian refugees generated by that war. Good on you, champions. We must also remind our mischievous, tricksy, and possibly even occasionally naughty audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We've got all the exclamation mark socials. We have a YouTube if you want to check out all the 150-something episodes you may have missed of this particular world, and a whole bunch of other ones as well. We've got loads of shit up there. It's great. Check it out. And we have a Discord if you want to come and listen to us swear over there. So yeah, if you want to click on that link, it'll take you over there. I'll endorse you and everything. It'll be great. It'll be groovy. And we can hang out, ask us questions, talk about roleplay gaming and arts and pictures of people's children. It's all up there. It's great fun. Guys, what the absolute heck happened last time? Rach, do you mind filling me in?
Yeah, I can fill you in. Listen, last week on Emo Humblewood, the group had to split up to take various traumatized children back to their various homes. Trish and Celinox got a couple of spiky ones, brother and sister pair, and we led them through the spooky forest, keeping their spirits up with marching songs edited for children's ears. A few days into that, during our vigilant watches, Trish met Strahd for the very first time. She did a very good job keeping her cool while talking to that absolute scumbag. But then he offered to help in some way, and Trish said, no! Stranger danger! I wasn't tempted in the Amber Temple, and I'm not gonna be tempted now. I've seen too many weird things. I'm not making no deals with no leathery winged creeps. Thank you very much. So then I went to sleep, and Celinox then also spoke to Strahd, who also offered to help, and she held her ground. Good for you, Celinox. Proud of you, girl. We don't need no help. Then we woke up and conferred, found out about various conversations, glad we were on the same page, kept going, found out that the danger that he was going to help us with, that we said no to help with, he just dealt with anyway, in a show of outrageous douchebaggery. I can't wait to murder him and eat his heart. Anyway, so then we drop off the children, and it's all good. The dad, very happy, gave me a pie, top bloke. Then we move on to go to the winery.
Arrows. He gave you arrows. The previous mother gave you pie.
No, the other one gave me a pie. This one gave me fun arrows.
Yeah.
And we met with a child who we resurrected a while ago, and he's super fine.
Yeah.
Like, being resurrected, it's like a cold, basically.
100% okay.
Definitely an okay child. Anyway, so we take our fun gifts of magic arrows and magic crossbow bolts down to the Wizard of Wines Winery. And before we get to the actual winery, a crowman kind of summons us away from the building, like, come over here, come talk near the creepy forest. And we're a cautious pair, so we're like, do we want to go near the forest? And eventually we do, because the vibes are acceptable. And we talk to this crowman. Turns out the whole crow family have been kicked out of their homes by some three druids?
Sure.
3 reported druids and an army of blights. We don't know what blights are. Apparently living plants, like a less sexy poison ivy situation going on here. So we agree, with the help of some crows, to kick these druids out of the winery because they're messing things up. Also important to note, while we're here, we are looking for a holy symbol in an empty wine cask because that's important to our quest. Also, they are looking for stones. We've returned a stone before. They're still missing stones. Everyone knows you need magic stones to make wine, okay? Everyone knows that.
It's like part of the process, yeah.
We're on the lookout for stones and holy symbols while we kill druids. I killed one. There's still 2 left. Also, creepy plants. And that's where we are, I believe.
Nailed it.
Did I miss anything important?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Good.
The pie is all gone. But other than that, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's been 3 days on the road. You probably ate the pie. Rach has an inspiration brought by the lovely Tony Karlstrom. There you go, Rach. It's up there. You are loved. Gotta press those grapes with something. Exactly, yeah. You just put on a pair of magic rocks strapped to your feet, just stomp around. That's how it works. Mm-hmm. That's the magic. Mm-hmm. That's how we know. If you don't do it, that's how you get French wine. Tony's just redeemed another one. So everybody's inspired. There you go, Ro.
Beautiful.
Boop. We all know this. Yeah, this is common knowledge, yeah. The Californians, I believe, use a kind of slate. Yes, we are also affiliated with a couple of wonderful sets of beans. We are associated with Wooden Forge, gaming accessories, the creators of some of the finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, like this gorgeous Jarrah dice keeper here. Jarrah is an Australian wood, and they reclaim a lot of it. They even do laser engraving, that sort of thing, so you can't really see it there, but that's my name there, laser engraved into it, and it contains large quantities of shiny click-clacks, with which one can torture one's players. Not necessarily these players, I tortured other players on the weekend. It was jolly good fun, they really enjoyed it. I mean, the player enjoyed the character, not so much. And if you want to check out Troll Lord Games, they're also bloody champions who give us a nice big up as well. Check them out at trolllord.com. They are a TTRPG gaming group and create some fantastic TTRPGs as well. So yeah, their stuff's up on their website, trolllord.com. Check them out there, fancy stuffs. So I suppose we should get into it, guys. Mateys, may no offers of assistance, well meant or otherwise, antagonize you, and all your baths not be poisoned wine, as we head, tremulously at first, and then with mounting anxiety and dread, into Barovia. So, we return to the Barovia and the Wizard of Wines Winery, where Celinox and Trish have figured out why the wine shipments have stopped. And now all that is needed is to convince the druids currently occupying the premises to leave. And because
Convince with sharp things.
Yes. Convince with malice. I'm going to put the beautiful cover of Hybridize away now so that we can see what we're doing a little bit.
Technically, the shipment stopped before that because they were just like, we don't have enough wine, and didn't think to send a letter because that would not be reasonable at all.
It's just, they didn't have any birds to spare. Also, they were very busy with the whole missing gemstones and angry druids. You find yourselves in the upper floor. Actually, you're somewhere between the ground floor and the upper floor of the Wizard of Wines Winery, because you're on a sort of catwalk that goes sort of in a looping situation around the large vats where the wine is processed. There are currently 3 vats full of wine, but they're not so great in terms of like nice wine. It's not brilliant. Because the druid that you found in there was pouring some shit in it. Pouring some nasty stuff. And you took a dip in one of the vats, and Trish, you didn't enjoy the experience, despite being a Mapatch, and they're resistant to poisoned wine. And other kinds of poison. Most poisons, really.
I mean, that would be so great if it was just specifically poison wine.
Really?
It's like, does this happen enough that this is necessarily on the sheet? And why only Mapatch? Drunks, the whole lot of them. It's just nasty racism all the way down this setting. You're standing over the corpse of I want to say she was a servant woman. And Trish has just sort of a little bit of a kill seal, but I don't think Celinox would probably be that fussed about it because she knows Trish has to get her murder on every 3 days. And as soon as Celinox snapped the druid's staff over her knee very vigorously and with malice and forethought, the twig blights, the little plant creatures that were infesting the room, and there was a lot of them, all just sort of stopped and just sort of died and collapsed into just piles of twigs and leaves. So that has proven to work in this particular instance. That definitely achieved your end goal, so you're currently not in combat. And look, for the audience's enjoyment, got a little bit of where everybody is, so you can see. It's not a big deal, but there you are. You are on a catwalk overlooking a bunch of barrels, one of which you have already fallen into, so you're both a bit wet, with wine, and you're standing over the corpse of a servant woman and a broken stick.
I'm, sorry. I'm counting that as 1 kill for you, and, I don't know, 30 for me. Just so we're clear. Can we go further
Still
up?
only counts as 1. You have stairs at either end of the catwalk, and in the middle there are stairs that go down. So down back into the room from whence you came, and at both ends of the catwalk, it's sort of a U shape, and at the far end of both sides you can go up into the upper floor. If you would like to both make me perception checks, you can see if you can hear noises and rustling and so forth from elsewhere in the building to see if you can figure out where you need to go next. I love girl talk. That's girl math, I believe.
Well, I mean, it was... Oh, it is working. All right, there we go.
Pair of 15s.
Oh, both 15.
Love it. You can hear some in the upper upper floor, there is some movement. You did see lights on from the outside. There was somebody was moving around on the lower floor, and there was also something moving around on the upper floor. So yeah, you can hear off to your right as you're looking at the building. You can hear more. I mean, the birds in the rafters in here are still making a bit of a racket. They are quite displeased, but they seem to be calming down a little bit now that all the twig blights have died. And they did actually claim the life of 2 twig blights themselves, jolly handy little boys. But yeah, Celinox got the bulk of them. So yeah, up to your right is where you can hear the noise of more birds, like more angry birds, flinging themselves at pigs.
Shall we both go through that one, or you want to divide and conquer?
I think it's probably safer to stick together.
All right.
Very well. Heading up to the right.
Stealthily.
Stealthily. Very well.
Which is why I offered to go the other way. I was like, you can go up that way stealthily, and I'll go the other way, like bang, 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 bang. Because realistically, this is what's gonna happen.
Come on, let's give it a go. Roll stealth. Like she will be quieter, but that doesn't necessarily mean you'll be very loud. Trish rolled a very mediocre 24.
5. I mean, why do you question it at this point? Like, it's just gonna be shit.
It's amazing how consistent it is, though.
I sound like a teenage boy.
Hey. That lasts until well into our 20s sometimes.
You sound like
very well. You both head up together. Trish leading the way, I guess, because that might make some sort of sense.
Hide behind something before they notice Celinox.
I mean, she's a high enough roll. That's fair.
Well, actually, so. Yeah, there is a doorway at the top of the stairs that, like, you have to open the door to go through, and you can hear angry birds on the far side of that door. Yeah, would you just go through, or are you going to?
Fuck it. Let's just go in. We're here now. They're going to find out their buddy's dead soon. Let's go.
All right. I will illuminate the area in which you find yourself. There we are. So you emerge out onto a catwalk. More of a... Hang on, why am I going for the book? I wrote this down in an actual Word document like a professional. The room has a wooden floor that has a 10-foot square hole cut in the middle of it. Looming over the hole is a wooden winch. Hiding behind the winch is a Gerbine man with wild fur, rotted teeth, and blood matted into the fur on his face. He babbles at you as you enter, in a language I don't believe either of you speak, unless you do speak Druidic. Rode, you don't happen to speak Druidic, do you? Something in the back of my brain was suggesting that maybe at one point that might have been an option, but I think we didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't think we went. No.
Yeah.
I speak. No.
Yeah.
Do not speak Druidic.
He ain't, but it's not Gerbine. Is a key point. You've both heard Gerbine enough. You're like, that is gibberish, not Gerbine. And while a pair of clumps of vines attempt to swat the ravens swooping at them from the rafters, there is only a single sort of swarm of ravens in here, maybe about 24 total. So not nearly enough to bother the vine blights with. But there are a pair of quite angry-looking vines who, pretty much as soon as Trish goes through the door, assault her. They both charge, and I'm gonna give... they're not gonna have a full sneak attack, but they are gonna get advantage on their initiative, because they definitely heard you coming. Not Trish, though. They didn't hear Trish. I want to be very clear about that.
I offered to go the other way.
So Trish could deal with this on her own.
No, so I'd come around the back, and they'd hear me coming and probably leave your fight because you'd be so stealthy, like a knight.
So the blights got a nat 20 for their initiative. So Trish will probably still beat them. Celinox got a filthy 20. Yep. Where's my piece of paper so I can write this down? Trish got a 9. That is unfortunate. Very well. Yeah, the Vine Blights are going to go first, and the Druid got very poorly. Only an 11 for the Druid. So we have not enough room on my desk. We have Celinox. We have the Vine Blights before Celinox. Then we have Trish, and then we we have the Druid, and then we have Trish. So, Vine Blights can do some cool shit as they leap out, attacking Trish very, very nastily, very rudely. And unfortunately, it's been long enough that your rage would have ended, Rach.
Yup.
So, let's see if they can hit you. A 22 probably does. A 12 doesn't, but a 22...
22 is going to hit. I am going to uncanny dodge, though.
Smart. Yes. Can you please make me a... Oh, no. Wow, yeah. Don't worry about it. You are going to get grappled. You take 8 damage. No, 10 damage. 10 bludgeoning, so half that to 5. And you are grappled.
Okay.
As these vines sort of wrap around you very unpleasantly. Meaning that you are restrained, so all your attacks are at disadvantage, unfortunately. And you cannot move. That's their turn. That's all they can do. And then it is Celinox, who is kind of stuck behind Trish at the doorway.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I get through? Or... there's obviously the 2 blights there. Is W16 the other guy, the Jobeen?
That's the hole. The Jobeen is up the top. Sorry, you can't see him. I'm going to pull back on the map a little bit. Yeah, the Jobeen is in the top corner.
Oh, right. Okay, so can we can
spells down at you.
Right. Okay. So would I be able to?
You could shoot over the top, or
how tall is the room?
The room has a good height ceiling because it's got a winch in it, so it probably have a 10-foot high ceiling.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna for a second here. Trish is gonna be real annoyed at me, but I'm gonna just leave Trish do it. I'm gonna climb up the wall. Yeah, because she don't need no help.
Yeah.
I'm climb up. She's made this very clear. I'm going to climb up the wall and go around the wall.
I got the distinct impression that she meant that you two, between you, did not need any help.
I know. I'm helping. I am helping. There's a plan.
Right. So you spider climb up the wall.
Yeah. And then
above her.
Yeah. And then go across. So I go over around towards the Jobeen.
Yep.
Yeah, have I got enough movement to get to him?
That would be, seeing as you can move on walls as fast as you can on floors, essentially, can't you? Then yes.
Okay, cool. Does he have a staff of some sort?
He does, yes.
Right, so I am going to attempt to... can I use I'm going to use my disarming attack.
Yep.
To try and disarm him when I hit him.
Sure.
29 to hit.
I mean, it does. I'm not going to say that does not hit.
Okay, so...
Now I have to make a strength save.
Yeah, so damage is 11. Sorry, then I'm switching back to the disarming description.
11 damage.
11 damage plus... so when you hit... so strength saving throw?
Yep. I got an 11.
Yeah, so that's a fail.
Yep.
So the weapon drops, and I add D8 to my damage as well. So I got an 8. So
Nice.
19 damage in total, another 8, and
Yep.
he's dropped his staff.
Yep, love it.
And then for my second attack, can I, instead of attacking him, can I try and attack the
slap
staff again?
with the sword.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go for it.
29 to hit.
It does hit. It absolutely hits. Damage?
11.
11. Very nice. The this time around, you would notice this is a very different staff. This one is significantly more complicated. The last was basically just a branch with a few runes carved in it. This one, it looks like it is black for a start. It's wooden, but it's the wood is almost black, and it's very, very straight. Like it's natural. It's still got lumps and bumps and stuff from a branch, but it's almost perfectly straight. And one end is almost bristly like a brush, or like a broom. And there are runes carved in it that wriggle unpleasantly when you strike it. Several of them go dim when the blow lands. However, can you please make me a con save? Oof.
11.
Yes, you take 6 lightning damage as from where your blow struck on the staff, a jolt of lightning leaps onto the blade up your arm and gives you a real nasty zap as the staff lets out an ear-piercing scream.
Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of swearing.
The staff, partially from the staff, and
Yeah. The staff is screaming, so Celinox is swearing. It's great. We're going to be great friends.
Can you roll me a perception check, please?
I can.
From where you are.
18.
18. So you know how there was lights outside as well?
Fucker. Yes, I do.
So looking down through the hole, you can hear from down through the hole a whole bunch of more movement. And looking down, you can see a cart loaded with barrels. This would be the loading dock, which would have a large gate to the outdoors. Would be a fair assumption. So you know that more are coming. You can hear them because that scream seems to have summoned them.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It is now the druid's turn, and the druid is going to wait just a moment while Josh opens the page to what druids can do. Why is it so far at the back of the book? One more page. You can do it. There we are. Okay. They have. They are going to cast. They're going to cast Shillelagh. And attack you. Because Thunderwave would be inefficient in this situation. This little Jobeen man holds the staff, like he's going to snatch it back up off the ground, and he babbles something else at you, and you hear within the babbling, Strat! And then holds it up above his head, and the remaining runes, and some have gone dark, but a few, most of them, glow significantly brighter, and they change in shade from dark green to a fierce yellow. And then he just starts trying to swamp you with the brushy end of it. Look, I don't know what his modifier is, but a 19 on the dice will probably do it. Yeah, 25.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yep, cool.
Do you have a riposte or anything?
I do have stuff, but I don't think
that is very mediocre 10 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
No worries.
I want to be clear, he rolled 2 attacks there and missed with one of them. The other was a...
Oh, he missed with one of them. Oh,
one
well,
was
then
an
I would
18,
like
one was a 25.
Yeah, okay, so I'll take the 10 damage from the hit,
Yeah.
but from the miss, I would like to use riposte, please.
Yeah, I thought you probably would. That's why I haven't brought it up.
Yeah, sorry, I thought he got me on. Yeah, so I'm going to hit him back.
Yep.
With my rapier. 22 to hit.
22 does very much, yes.
16 damage plus...
Oof.
25,
21.
so 21 damage. Yeah.
Very nice.
And can I also roll a perception, possibly, or an insight to see when he was like the babbling? I got the Strahd part. Was it like calling upon Strahd, or was he looking at me as if I was an agent of Strahd and he was pissed off about that?
An insight
like,
check.
What's the
insight?
9.
Hard to say. Hard to say.
Yeah.
You're not a magician. You're not a wizard of any sort. A very good question. Just unfortunately, you just don't know enough. If you were to speak in common and ask him, you might be able to find out. Trish, it is your turn. There's a couple of angry vine blights next to you. One of them's got you all
they're
squished.
angry. Tell you what, I'm angry because I don't like being grappled or screamed at by a stick or have the name of Strahd invoked in my presence. So I will be going into a barbarian rage.
Valid.
Let's see what magical thing happens today.
That's
What's a 13 do to me? Oh, it doesn't sound lucky. When you enter your rage, each creature within 30 feet of you, including yourself, must make a dexterity save.
Great.
Creatures you choose may have advantage. That'd be you and me, girl.
What? Not me?
Not you! Any attack rolls against the creatures are with advantage, and they cannot benefit from being invisible. This ends if your rage ends. Alright, dex saves all round, baby!
So if I fail the dex saves, every attack against me is with advantage. Right.
Yes.
Great. Celinox
But it
got
also
a
goes
14.
swimming in rogue.
Yeah. So I want to be clear. What is the DC? I believe...
What is the DC?
It would be your Constitution modifier plus 12. Yeah, Con mod plus 12, so 17, I think.
God damn it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I got a high
because you are
Constitution,
restrained,
right.
you
All
are
right,
at
dex save.
disadvantage on dex saves.
But I gave myself advantage, so now it's just
Well, you haven't got the advantage
flat.
Fate roll.
yet. You haven't got the
I
advantage
can give
yet.
any creature I want advantage.
With this effect.
It's said in that just. For the dex save I'm taking right now.
Sure. Yeah, no, I apologize. Yeah, so it's a flat. Yeah. Sorry, my brain fart. And I do not,
Yeah.
so here
All
we
right.
go.
So let's see what happens.
No 17s there.
And I rolled a 28, baby. Let's go.
28. So Trish nails the dex save.
Rogue.
Amusingly, the druid also passes, but the two vine blights did not pass. The druid got exactly 17 with their +1, but the two vine blights not so much. They are very.
Alright.
What does this effect look like, Rach? Rach does
What
get.
does it look like?
You,
it
actually,
looks
that's
like-
a very good point, Jack. You would actually have had advantage, Rach, because you get advantage from being a barbarian. A valid point.
That's right. Didn't even need it, but thank you. Thank you for having my back. What it looks like is I'm sort of moving so quickly that you almost see double, and it makes it very hard to anticipate where my attacks are going because I'm sort of like double image.
All right. Excellent.
That's what it looks like.
Cool.
So sorry, does this mean that everyone has advantage when they attack me as well? Is that what that meant?
Yes.
Yes.
So Celinox and the Vine Blights failed. So at the moment, the druid and Trish are like blurry a little bit, like they're vibrating super fast, making them just slightly harder to hit. Trish, however, is restrained, so it makes it a flat roll to attack her, which is neat because otherwise I would have been attacking with advantage, which just sucks. Okay, cool. And then you go murder on somebody, yes?
I sure am. Are they both restraining me or just one of them?
The one to your right is restraining you.
That's who I'm gonna attack with my fancy sword.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, it's a hit. Don't believe their natural armor is up to a 24.
Damn right it's a hit.
No.
Damn right it's a hit.
This is radiant damage, isn't it?
Yeah, that's radiant damage, and then I do some sneak damage. Boom, boom.
Big
Boom,
money.
boom.
Big
Boom!
money! Big money!
Get it!
Jesus Christ!
Ain't no leaves holding me, boy!
It dies.
Son!
It actually dies.
That's right, it dies!
If you're doing it with the sunblade too, amusingly, because it's a plant.
Yeah.
They don't like fire, but why not? Yeah, cool. You kill it. It dies. You shank this poor thing. I imagine this, if you don't mind. You're like, and somebody looking at it from behind, we would see Trish just tightened up in the vines as they wrap around her. Her arms sort of held close tight towards her chest, and then all of a sudden, a lightsaber emits from the back of the vines, and they just sort of crumple to the floor. And Trish sort of just shakes herself as her eyes flash with a black sheen, and her vibrating form turns to face the other Vine Blight, who takes a single step back like, oh, fuck. I've got a bloody Jedi. Take care, Tony.
I don't know if vines can be intimidated, but I look at this thing and I go,
I think it is a bit.
Prepare to get pruned, bitch!
You are now at advantage if you, well, you don't have any more attacks, I don't believe, but yeah, next time you next go, it's gonna get fucked up. But before then, it gets to attack you, and maybe try and grapple you. It's now at disadvantage, stupid.
Wait.
I rolled a 1 and a 3, so probably neither. It's, yeah, you are just so fast, as it tries to wrap coils of vines around you. It just can't. And yeah, that's it, basically. That sucked. Very well. And then it's Celinox.
I'm gonna, as I pull up my sword to attack again, I'm gonna be like, what did you say about Strahd? Speak plain.
We stole his power. Leave. I have the power of Strahd now. And he sort of waves the stick at you.
You want to share?
Make a persuasion check. Or intimidation, if that's really what you're doing. One either way. That's rough.
I mean, with intimidation, it would have been a +3, so it would have been 4 instead of 0.
Ooh, okay, yeah. No, he's hard passing on that. For reasons that you may not be able to determine, he's not into sharing his newfound power to control plants, which he definitely got from Strahd. Yeah, alrighty. What do you do?
Can I also, before I attack him, can I also roll an insight check to see if he's telling the truth?
Yes. Yeah, He
thinks-
genuinely believes that the staff in his hands contains the power of Strahd and is needed to defeat him.
Okay. And if do I feel anything from this staff? Like, do I have any feelings towards this staff? Is it giving me any vibes when it like?
When it shocked you, that's not. He wasn't touching it. He did not command it to do that. It did it.
Okay. So I'm gonna attack him. And I'm gonna do disarming again with this one.
Yep.
So it is 16 to hit.
Is the number you need.
Okay. So 13 damage plus 5.
18.
So 18 damage.
Yes.
And he drops the staff again because I disarmed him again. And this time I'm gonna pick up the staff.
Yep. He is looking really unhealthy as well. He's taken a lot of damage. He's bleeding very badly.
Can I pick up the staff as my movement? Is that acceptable?
Bonus action,
and then
sure.
Hit him again. Okay. And then I'm gonna hit him again but keep the staff in my hand.
Yep. Is this a lethal or non-lethal attack? Because if it hits, it probably won't kill him. 16 is the number you need.
I think it's probably lethal.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think she has,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it hasn't been enough that she's
I was just
you're on
asking
our side.
if you had a. Yeah, you did.
16.
Max damage. Yeah, he dies. How do you do it?
Celinox picks up this staff, looks at the staff, and then looks at him, and then there's like a moment of hesitation where she's like kind of considering for like a split second,
and then he goes,
shoves her blades straight into his belly.
That's what he does? Am actor. Very good.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah,
Cool. You murder him and you take his staff for yourself. Is your intent to break it?
No, I was going to try and talk to it, but I'm very aware that I've already done a lot in this term. So
but interestingly, it does not appear to. Yeah, it doesn't shock you again when you pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It has no issue with the fact that you picked it up. Good guy DM sends ally just for y'all to kill him. Don't need no help. We're women. Yes, he was a nice ally.
Was he? I didn't know.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I was getting mixed.
Very mixed
signals.
messages.
and as a woman with my experiences, I'm gonna go with he's probably an evil fucker.
Valid. Yeah, no.
I mean, Celinox killed him in like 2 turns. How useful was he gonna be?
That's true. That's true. I would definitely prefer to be in a forest with a bear than that guy. So.
So yeah, I'm gonna talk to it. I'm not planning harm on the staff right now.
Okay, well, the druids had his turn. He spent it being dead. And then it's Trish's turn.
Is this leaf still going to attack me, or is it now under Celinox's command, now that she holds the stick? Can I suss that out?
Make me it's gonna be nature.
Alright, let's do a nature check.
It's hard to insight on a vine blade.
That's a funny roll. What do I think?
It does not appear to have noticed or care that the druid is dead.
Alright, time for me to stab it then. Get some!
22 is a hit, yes.
Well,
For 12
and then
damage.
some sneak.
A bit of sneaky damage.
Get you some sneak.
Maybe a little low this time. Still pretty good, actually. Math. He not dead.
It's alright. I got my offhand dagger.
Yep.
I'm gonna hit him again with my fancy dagger.
You do have advantage as well.
I do have advantage. Not
I mean,
that I need it.
as long as you got a 23, it dies. It dies instantly.
Yeah.
How do you destroy this set of vines with your fancy dagger?
How do I do it? He's pretty weak, a bit wilted, one would say.
Yeah.
I sort of locate the core, the part from which all the other vines are sprouting.
Yep.
And just get in there, juices spurting. I don't think vines have sap, moisture. Get in there.
They do.
Spread
Actually,
it hard.
the fluid that sprays out smells a bit like off wine, like vinegar. And yeah, with the death of the vine creature. Sorry, carry on.
Celinox, I'm weirdly craving fish and chips. Can we find somewhere after this? Just got real hankering all of a sudden. I don't know why.
Sounds good.
Yeah, vines have sap. Yeah, they're plants.
Uh,
yeah. Celinox,
So we're
you are out of combat.
Yeah.
You can both hear now that the ravens calm down like instantly. As soon as Trish carves out the heart of the vines in front of her and the druid collapses to the ground, pretty much at exactly the same moment, the ravens all take roost, looking at Celinox. And everything goes quiet in here, and you can hear the rustling of branches below.
Are they still moving towards us? Is that like when we're hearing them? Can I look? Like, is there somewhere where I can
If you look down through the gap in the floor, there's a 10-foot square hole basically in the middle.
Yeah.
You look down and you see the glowing yellow eyes of dozens of plant creatures. Probably
moving
3
towards
dozen.
us?
No,
Are
they are
still,
in there, gathered up in the around the cart underneath, looking up, and they are all looking at Celinox.
Celinox is going to look down at them and go, stay. Good plants.
They do not move, though their eyes do, like as one, you see a flicker go across them as you say stay, and they remain completely motionless. It was a good music cue, wasn't it? The Strahd music knows what it's doing. Sirenscape.com, check it out.
Oh, looks like that extra thumb you grew is green, huh?
Ha ha ha! I like that. Maybe. Let's just yo. I'm gonna point at one of them on the edge. And is there something in what else is around? Is there like a bucket or a broom or a?
There could be. Yep.
A bucket. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna point at just one of them and say, "Yo, Spiky, can you get that bucket and sit on it, please?" But there's a pause before she says please. She says, "Get the bucket, sit on it," and then she's like, "Please."
There is a flicker across its eyes, and it very slowly, like... Actually, sorry. Can you make me a wisdom save?
I can. 20.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Flicker across its eyes, and then it staggers towards the bucket, kicks it, and it flips over onto its back and sits down on it. Eyes never leaving you.
So is it like it's like pissed off about doing it almost? Is that the vibe I'm getting?
Hard to say.
Like it's like a new recruit who doesn't want to follow the fucking...
Didn't particularly want to, but it did obey you. Yeah. New recruit's probably not a bad way of putting it.
Yeah, like the new guys, they're not used to taking orders. Like, you'll fucking get used to it, mate.
The interesting thing there is the staff feels very cold in your hand. And you notice when you do this that around your hand, not on your hand or under it, but around it, a whole bunch of thorns have grown out of the staff.
Like, as in, like, into my hand or just around?
No, they have avoided your flesh, but everywhere else around the grip where you're holding the staff, it's like they were gonna stab you, but at the last moment decided to deliberately not. If you were to take your hand off, there would be a handprint of no thorns.
All right. This. Thanks, I think. Are there more, Trish? Should we take care of the other one and then work out what the fuck's going on here?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
All right. Well, yeah. Celinox is gonna take off her shield and put it like it's on, and she's gonna put it. No, it's probably not big enough, is it? I was gonna put it over the hole, but it's not big enough. Can we close the hole somehow?
Oh,
like,
no,
is there a door?
It's a 10-foot hole. No, not
yeah,
really.
Yeah, it's too big. So is there like a pull across or something?
No, it's designed for there's a crane in the room with you, and it's used for the crane to, like, the rope from the crane to go through. So it's never designed to close.
Okay, they don't have a...
You could tell them to leave the building and then close the doors of the building behind them on the ground floor, if you wanted them to get out.
No, they can stay there for now, I think.
They're all pretty well corralled in that room.
Yeah, okay. All right. So shall we? Which way next? I'm gonna really carefully try and put the staff on my back.
Yeah.
Because I want my hands free to fight. But
fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, you do that.
Around the thorns without.
As soon as you like, there isn't really it's designed to be carried in the hand. There isn't a rope on it or anything. How would you go? Would you like get a rope and sling it on each end so you could wear it like a bow?
I would kind of feel like on her person she'd have lots of like straps and stuff in her armor. So so I think she'd just be able to kind of put it through like loosen one of the loops that was maybe designed for something else and put it through there.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. I think it's probably her armor would be designed for that. Yeah. As soon as your hand leaves it and it's clear that you are sheathing it, or stowing it, the thorns sort of retract, and the warmth, as in like you're still having to hold it in other places to put it away, and the rest of the stick, other than in the center of the grip, is quite warm.
Does it feel nice?
No. Oh, actually, I apologize.
It's me.
It does like you.
Yeah, okay.
I
meant more from my perspective. There was a nice kind of warmth, like
nice.
That's
it's definitely. The
cold to like a.
Yeah, definitely. You used it for its intended purpose, and it kind of liked it. That's why it didn't stab you.
Okay.
Well, Terrace,
Alright,
unless you were going
which-
to use it to command vine blights, it would stab you. You wouldn't like that.
Where to next?
I'm gonna do some listening. Now that the birds and the leaves are a bit quiet, I'm gonna see if I can hear anyone else in the building.
Yep.
It's not great.
A 14. It is silent. There's no rustling, no nothing.
I whisper to Celinox, maybe we should start from the ground and work our way up. That way we can corner the last one.
Or search the rest of this floor?
Yeah.
Because we already...
Solid information you could assume to be assumed to have would be that most vineyards have a cellar for wine storage. And these people were looking for a stone buried somewhere.
Well, then let's go to the cellar. We won't want them to get away from us when we're on the upper floors.
There is to the south of you, Trish, a spiral staircase heading down, which you could probably guess would at least take you to the ground floor, if not below.
All right, let's check it out. Stealthily.
Stealthily. Very well. Make me stealth checks.
I'm trying!
It's gonna be the one! This is gonna be the one, Celinox!
Do it.
I believe in you!
Nine.
Nine's not bad.
It's better than last time.
It's hard to get worse than last time. And let me jump you up to the... So, you head down a flight of stairs. There is an exit into, you would guess, the room that you first entered into, the big room with the vats. However, if you continue going down, you would find yourself underground. And I'm just going to place you there. Yeah, in your own time. As you descend...
That is exactly what it's like. Sorry,
As
I
you
was reading
descend-
chat. That's so true. Yeah. That is what Celinox is like. She's like always doing some sort of battle cry or something under her breath, so she's never silent.
Here, let me unfog it. Boop. There is basement. It's totally fine and empty. You, as you come down here, yes, it grows increasingly cold as you step down. Let me just find the thing. Wooden pillars and beams support a 10-foot high ceiling of this ice-cold cellar, which is split in two by a 5-foot thick brick wall. A thin mist covers the floor. Each half of the cellar features an 8-foot tall wooden partition that doubles as a wine rack. The western rack stands empty, but the eastern one is half filled with wine bottles. So you've come out in the eastern side, filled with wine bottles, which is nice. Something, however, moves behind the western wine rack. Through the holes, you can glimpse a half-dozen humanoid figures, one with a full rack of antlers. You hear a gravelly voice mutter the words of a spell. And this one is pretty much, they once again did hear you coming. So let us roll initiative. It's only partially because Celinox is not sneaky. I mean, Trish could have preceded her. But a 20 is pretty good.
I rolled a 4. More initiative this time.
That is not a problem. Do not worry. So this time around, it is. Let us roll the peeps. 14 and a filthy 20. Sorry, a 21. I apologize. And a 13. So it goes the druid, then Trish, then the blights. Celinox got a 4, yes, and then Celinox. Lovely. Cool. Alrighty. So the druid is going to cast Thunderwave at you two. Emerging from the wine racks is a gallus. Hard to tell the gender underneath their ragged cloak, but mounted on their head, they have a full rack of what appear to be antlers. Neither of you are familiar enough with Barovian wildlife to guess that these actually belong to a deer, but they look not dissimilar to servan antlers, which is a little bit weird. They come around the corner and screech a thunder wave at you. The shockwave booming up the wine rack and just shattering the wine along the left-hand side of the wine rack.
In this economy, don't you know there's a wine shortage? What Come on!
The book specifically states 1d20 plus 10 wine bottles, and I just rolled a 19, so 29 bottles of wine. I know, I am disheartened as you are. This is a monstrous thing that this character did. You know what? I'm going to use my inspiration to roll it again, and I got a 6. Okay, 16 bottles of wine. That's not as bad. That's what the DM's inspiration is for. Yeah, okay, cool. But you both must make con saves, please.
He needs to die now.
I love that this has inspired more of a visceral reaction from you than anything else. A 4 from Trish and a 14 from Cel. Spell save is a 14. 14 is the number you needed. Alrighty. Trish is going to take the full. Celinox is going to take half.
May I ask?
Yes.
When we came in this room, Trish is Trish still raging?
No, I think we
It
paused
wears off
too long.
after a.
It was long
wears
enough.
off
Okay.
after a turn.
Cool.
If
No
you're
worries.
not violent for a whole turn, it stops.
Yeah.
I think she has 3 charges though.
I got one left.
Yeah.
One for each druid, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go. I don't like being yelled at either, so.
Because that's gonna make you fucking mad.
Yeah. That is 14 points of thunder damage, halved for Trish.
Half
No, sorry,
for
half
me.
for Celinox.
Jeez.
Can I uncanny dodge Thunderwave? That doesn't sound right, does it?
Not really. It's a. I don't see
okay,
how
I'll
because
take
it's an area effect.
Alright, it's fine. I'll cop it. It's all good.
Cool, and that's their turn. They are going to, dodge up to the side and allow their needle blight friends to come through. But it is now Celinox's turn. Is it? No, it's
No,
Trish's
can't be
turn.
my turn.
Sorry.
I rolled
Trish's turn.
4.
So I'm
It's
gonna
fine.
say, don't you yell at me! And go into a barbarian rage. And let's roll the wild dice.
Hell yeah.
I love just a random thing happens every time. It's so much fun.
It
All
is
right,
fun.
10. What happens on a 10? A bolt of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you must succeed a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant damage and be blinded until the start of my next turn. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action. Get roasted. All right. So
Very much so. Roasted. I'm presuming the druid.
Yes.
I have to make a con save. So I got a
Con
15. But that doesn't beat the 17 that they need because it's based off your constitution, which is very good. So yeah, I cop 1d6 of radiant damage and I'm blinded.
Blind.
Roll a d6.
A d6.
Like a d6
3.
indeed. 3. Very nice. Yeah, the druid is blinded. This Gallus with unusual headwear is and then you fly into a barbarian rage. The center of your chest still Iron Man glowing.
While he's all disoriented and confused, I'm gonna run on up to him and I'm gonna smack him square on the top of the head with my sunblade.
Very well.
Just bonk. See if I can shake the antlers loose. Oh.
It's dark and cold in here, and Trish is bringing the light with a filthy 20. Does indeed hit.
Bonk.
Let's have some slightly more energized music for this. 12 isn't bad. 12 is pretty good for a good bonk on the head.
Sneak.
And 12 sneak. 24. Plus that 3 you did before.
Yeah, then I'm scooting out of grasping flailing range.
Oh,
I can
very
do
well.
that.
Yeah, you can, apparently. Yeah, excellent. Okay, then it's the Blight's turn. And they're all going to charge in. So, let's have a... Some of them aren't going to get there. Because there's too many of them. Well, only 3 of them can attack, but they're all going to sort of reach you. So 1 will attack Celinox because it's fair, and 2 will attack Trish, who is glowing.
Are they still attacking me even though I've got their staff on me?
Yes.
Okay.
They ain't obeying you. There's another druid with a staff down here.
There's too many fucking staffs.
Too many staffs, exactly. Alrighty. Yep. So... Ooh, a filthy 20 to hit Trish.
Owie. Ouch. That's gonna do it.
Your sarcasm is not needed. Oh, it's max damage though, so a grand total of 9 piercing damage. Calm the fuck down. Which you're raging, so you half because it's not magical. And the second one missed. So it's going to be against Celinox. A filthy 1. A filthy, disgusting 1. Throws dice away. Very well. It's Celinox's turn.
Tara's got me a D4 as well.
And Trish, I gave you your you a D4 as well because I didn't. You already had an inspiration. Yes, thank you, Terrace.
Yeah.
Let's snap
right.
in. Welcome. And XCat, hey, good to see you. And Slacker Unchained, very nice. I like blinded by the light. Nice.
Yeah, I like both of their comments so far have been song themed, and I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know the mechanics of this. Can I 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can I disengage from the guy next to me? Can I disengage?
Yes.
I'm not a... Like,
You nip around.
What is that? Is that just a...
It's an action.
Action?
Yes.
So I'd have to use a full action, or I could just take... No, okay, I'm going to do that.
I mean, he
So
could
I'm
try
gonna
and hit you for, like, max of 9 damage. Don't know how worried you are about that.
So is there a difference between just moving away and disengaging, I guess?
Yeah,
is
if
what
you
I'm
disengage,
asking.
he doesn't get to attack you.
Oh, okay. And there's only one of them who is in opportunity attack range anyway.
Yeah.
So
Although,
I'm just gonna
fuck off.
move away from him. So I'm gonna
Very
come
well.
up like the back.
He's going to use his
around.
reaction.
Yeah, that's fine.
Unless your AC is better than a 21, he does hit you.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, no, my
Yep.
AC is not. Yeah.
All right. For 1 off max damage, 8 whole hit points.
All right, that's pretty good.
Tony, I
so
spent it. I spent it to save wine. I stand by it.
It was well spent. So then I'm gonna go up like behind the rats.
Yep.
I'm assuming I can
can
get
you
through
move
that
now?
way.
Can you see the map?
Why?
No.
No.
Okay, so you're
Sorry,
going behind
that's
the
why I'm
racks?
trying to describe it to you because I can't get there. But over, so up behind the racks and then over to where the druid is.
Yep. You are putting other wine in danger, just FYI, being there. But yes, all right.
How dare you? and then I'm gonna stab him.
Very well. Oh, Tony. Nicely done, mate. Good. Good.
All right, so got 21 to hit.
21 does hit. With your rapier. Oof.
Yeah.
For 9.
So
Still
9 damage.
Yeah. With the first.
And then I'm gonna hit him again.
They are also wielding a glowing staff. I want to be clear.
I know, but I want the second attack for the staff if I'm gonna. So 18, and then I'm gonna 18 to hit, which I assume hits.
Yep.
14.
So a total of
the second
23 this time around. Very nice. They hate that. Everything and they're blind as well. So they're just like, stop it. Very upset with this whole situation. JB all day. Oh dear. Maybe a glass of Shivers would warm me up. Yes. Ironically, Shivers would surely make you cold. Shivers. Sorry, I'm being silly. Yeah, I gave. There was a pun earlier that we liked that I gave Trish inspiration for. Or gave you the D4 for. I can't remember exactly what it was you said, but I enjoyed it. Cool. All right. You've smote him. You smote them really good. It was an amazing pun. Yes. That guy Strider. Thank you very much, Strider. Good on you, mate. That's it. Yes. Anything else? You have a bonus action.
Nope.
Ro?
No. Thank you.
All good. Alrighty, we go back to the top of the order. It's the druid's turn. The druid is blinded, and very much wants to get away. So it's going to Thunderwave Celinox. She can't get Celinox and Trish with a single blast, so Celinox, con save for me, please.
Mm-hmm. 23.
Boo. Passes. Which means you don't get thrown back, which is really what she was like, fuck off! But she doesn't have to be able to see you to do it, which is why.
No, I just stabbed her. I think that's fair.
Yeah. 10 thunder damage. And then she gonna piss ball.
I got 10, even though I succeeded.
Oh, I apologize. 5, yes.
Okay, yeah, cool. Thank you. Can I take an opportunity attack
You
when
can
she
take
runs
an
away because I
opportunity
didn't
attack.
get pushed away?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
25 to hit. I think. Oh no, 15 to hit. Is it 15? Or is it 25? It's not coming up. 15.
It's
right.
5 plus 10, 15, and no.
No. Yep. Fair.
Now, does she have to roll to
use-
not trip over? Because
Can I?
She knows
Can I
this
use
place
my-
reasonably well. She's staggering around. I'm going to give her half movement speed. She's only going to get
Can
there,
I-
but that's enough.
Can I use my D4 to add to my attack roll?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you. Another 3, so 18
There you go.
to hit.
It does hit. Ow!
Thank you.
Oof, for 14 damage. Fucking killer. How do you do this? That's a lot.
They go to like do this thunder wave, and I like get real like waiting for it, but it's like it doesn't really do much at all.
She
And
can't
then,
really
like,
see you.
goes-
She's got not a lot got left in the tank. Yeah.
So like Celinox is just like slightly surprised as she turns to one and just goes like whack, and it like takes her out.
Yeah. She's you lop off an antler and it just staggers her and she just collapses to the ground. She staggers around the corner and collapses to the ground. And as she does so, the needle blights all stop and look at you. Like they all spin and look at Celinox. should have just left her where she was. But yeah, Trish, it is your turn. However, they appear to have stopped trying to slash at you.
Do they look hostile towards Celinox? Like they're about to
I want to be clear,
it?
they haven't moved at all. They basically just sort of... and just turned their heads to watch. Their bodies are still very much in the process of, I'm about to jump on you. Mostly, I think every single one of them is was until a second ago looking at Trish, going to be like, I'm going to stab you. And now they are, I was going to stab you, and now I'm waiting for this person to tell me yay or nay.
Celinox? Want to grab that stick for me, please?
Am I allowed to go and get the stick? Or are we
Which
coming out of
stick?
initiative order? The one that the other staff was what I was going for, but it's obviously not my turn.
Well, they're looking at you, not the staff.
All right, so am I allowed to speak even though it's not my turn?
Yeah, they are... Basically, the combat is paused while you determine what to do. They will not attack if Trish doesn't attack them. But if Trish maybe moves, they might. So consider this like pause time.
All right,
We're
cool.
just standing still and ready, but like I won't move until something happens.
So I'm just gonna like reach back and touch the staff's handle behind me,
And it
just
feels
in case. And I'll say, stand down.
Make me a wisdom... I think just a check. I don't think you have a proficiency, so it's a wisdom check or save either way. It doesn't really matter.
$19.
A flicker goes across their eyes. The burning orange coals that are their eyes. These are creatures made apparently of spiky bark and the needles of pine trees. And yeah, their eyes sort of flicker and they stand back to straight. They go back to sort of a neutral pose and look at you like, what next?
Go hang out with all your other mates in the, I don't know what room, or the delivery room.
They
We'll meet you back there.
You don't need to be overly specific because they know where all their mates are. So they, in an orderly fashion, tromp up the stairs.
Hey, Trish, did you see? I got myself a stick army.
It's pretty good. They're a little creepy, but useful.
Trish, you can see because of where you are, the woman that Celinox stabbed as she was trying to run away is on her last leg. She's definitely dying, but she is trying to crawl towards the far end of the basement.
All right, I'm gonna approach. Is she crawling towards something in particular, or just away?
Perception check me, please.
Oh, Will.
Well, it's dark and cold down here. You notice that she appears to be crawling not to the staircase in the far corner, but to a pile of loose cobblestones in the floor.
I'm gonna walk past her, and I may or may not step on her fingers as I go, and see what is going on in the cobblestones.
She cries out, "No, you must not. The land needs it."
What do you mean? What land needs what?
The land, Barovia. These crows, they hoard it for themselves to make wine while the people starve.
And what were you gonna do with it if you got it?
She sort of flops over onto her side, leaning against the wall, her hand sort of holding the gaping wound in her flank, through which the remainder of her lifeblood is seeping. And sort of looks up at you, a trickle of blood coming out of her beak, and she says, "We sought to heal the plants of the valley, the crops."
Does she seem like she's being honest?
Insight. And Celinox, you can easily come over and involve yourself in this.
But the guy upset said you were working for Strahd. Strahd wouldn't like that.
Not for Strahd. A 15, she... Yeah. She is in no state to be deceptive. There is truth in what she is saying. She is, however, not managing to conceal that there is a little bit more to it. We don't serve Strahd. We stole his power, and now we're trying to steal the ravens to heal the land.
You want to steal the ravens? But
the ravens' power. Sorry, that's Josh clarifying. The ravens' power is what you meant.
The gems.
Yes, you know of them.
Well, why don't you just talk to people? Sheila? Jesus.
It is their livelihood. Many will fight to protect what they have. Here
Yeah,
more than most.
Wouldn't know that unless you asked, would you? Have you got the other one?
Our leader has taken it.
Where?
Yester Hill.
Because I think the wine is doing something good for the people around here as well, from what I hear.
Would you prefer to be drunk or feed your children?
A hard question.
Then you don't
around
have
here.
your own, do you?
I'm just saying it boosts morale, is all I'm saying.
We understand the importance of it.
So then, why don't you just come and have a fucking conversation?
We asked Martikov. He told us no.
No. All right. Well, thanks for trying to talk. I'm going to try and find... I don't have any healing potions on me.
Yeah.
But I might find some bandages.
I'm going to keep talking to her before she dies. If you're trying to make life better in Barovia, then we are on the same side, and I'm sorry for this misunderstanding, but you've been in this building for a while. Have you seen any holy symbols? I'm not talking about the stones. Something in a cask.
She sort of gestures around herself, and you look around. What wine storage there is here is down here. The side where the fight was is where there is still quite a lot of wine stored. There are several casks and a few would be empty. The finest wine and none remains being the clue. If you're looking for something specific, ask the ravens. But no, I have not seen any. We came here looking for something buried in the earth. We haven't involved ourselves with the wines over much.
Okay.
Would you mind telling us a bit more about Strahd's power that you've stolen?
It seems you now have it.
Yeah, but how the...
You have the Gulithas staff, crafted from a tree born of this land, of Strahd's power. But one can harness it if you have the strength of will. use it to command the creatures of this land the way he does. Our leader seeks to raise an army with it. That is why we must heal the land. More plants means more soldiers, with which we
And
can
what's the
defeat
army
him.
for? Right. Can you tell him to go back to sleep? Is that a command you can give him, or?
As in, can you tell the plants to go back to sleep with the staff? You can dismiss them. They become dormant. They're only animate when you ask them to be.
Fab, thanks.
Can I roll a medicine roll to see if I can patch her up with
She
my...
is... Yeah. Yeah, you can try.
I am going to use my inspiration because I feel like most of my bad rolls, I'm like, that's fair. But Celinox is a soldier. She knows how to do this shit.
Yeah.
She knows how to
She knows
patch
how to
someone out on the field.
unfuck the damage she's done.
Like, she's, yeah, like, well, no, like, yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm using my inspiration to roll again. And it is not meant to be.
It is not meant to be.
8.
No, but a valiant attempt. I really I loved it because I was like, that is the dice saying no. Gave it to you for a reason, Ro. This was a good reason. It was not meant to be. She says, as you go to wrap the bandage around her, she says, puts a hand on you and says, "You are the master of the staff now. Seek you allies, go to Yester Hill. But do not go for a fight. You will not enjoy what happens if you do." Don't waste it on me. I think there is none to be done for me. If you would do me any honor at all, please place me in the earth.
Yes, ma'am.
Perhaps ask the Blights to do it. They're very good at digging. And if you can convince the Ravens that their cause would be better served by lending us the stone, then deliver it unto Yester Hill, and allies you shall have.
I don't think they can do that. If you take the stone out of here, the last stone, the crop's gone for good. Blend is not something. It's have or nothing.
She closes her eyes. She said her last, and the last ragged breath comes out of her mouth.
Well, I feel fucking bad.
Yeah.
Most people we've killed around here are kind of clear-cut bad guys.
Are they? I don't feel like anyone in Barovia is clear-cut. I feel like every decision we've made in this fucking place has been a misstep. An unavoidable misstep.
Well, not everything. There's been some. We got rid of the hags.
Yeah, and then we befriended one, which I still don't feel great about.
Yeah, but she was forced into it. And then the kids that we released from the were-prowlers and sent back to their mums and dads, those mums and dads really like that.
And I'm sure every single one of those were-prowlers we killed was evil.
Well, I mean, you seemed pretty dead set on it at the time, but I hear ya. The shades of grey in these things. You can't let it get to you too much.
I'm gonna start searching the basement, opening every cask, and if I find it full, I just sort of tip it over. I'm opening everything.
Right. You do that. Make an investigation check.
I sure will. I'm gonna use my inspo to my +4.
Matt, crank the D4. Yeah.
+4. Okay. 14. Okay.
14. 14 is pretty good. However, there is... So, in Barovia, in the Wizard of Wines Winery, they make 3 different kinds of wine. It is the Red Dragon Crush, the Champagne Le Stomp, and the Purple Grape Mash number 3. The Purple Grape Mash number 3 is a pretty basic bitch wine. And every barrel bar one that you have opened, it has been stamped with a Purple Grape Mash number 3. The only one that you open that has got any wine in it at all that isn't Purple Grape Mash is a Red Dragon Crush. However, there are a trio of barrels at the far end labeled Champagne Le Stomp. That is the fanciest wine they make in Barovia. All 3 are empty and have been for a while. And none have anything in them at all.
Can I do my magical awareness to see if it's maybe something disguised?
Yep.
All right. I'd use one of those.
The only source of magic... Well, sorry, there are 2 very powerful sources of magic in this room. Within 60 feet of you. One of them is on Celinox's back. Other than the things you were already carrying when you went in, Celinox is carrying a very powerful magical artifact on her back. The other is in the top corner of the far end room, which doesn't have any wine in it. And it is powerful life magic emitting from the ground. And within the cracked paving slabs that they were digging through, you can see a gem.
But that doesn't fit the description of what we're looking for.
It's not what you're looking for. That's one of the things they were looking for.
From what I know of the layout, is there another cellar?
There might be. You'd have to ask the Martikovs, really. Well, you can search the building if you want yourself. But from the layout upstairs, this is probably the same floor area as the upstairs. The basement.
I think we should probably give this place a good once-over before we go back out. We are here to look for something. If anyone asks, we can say we were just checking that there weren't more druids. Is that okay with you, Celinox?
Yeah, you don't want to just ask them?
No, I'd rather do it this way first. I don't know who to trust in this place.
Well, everyone's got an agenda. But the Werecrows so far, that family has been all right to us. But we can have a look, and I might get my new friends to bury our druid crew.
Very well.
Thanks for indulging me.
Let us have one. If you're going to take your time, I will add a +5. I'll give you a +5 to your investigation rolls.
Thank you.
And yeah, both make an investigation on the building as a whole.
Sure.
21.
Is it a +5 or a plus?
A +5
straight?
to what you rolled. So a 24 and a 26, respectively. Yeah, there's a fair amount of stuff that's fun to find in the house. The upper floor, basically, of what you haven't checked already, there is the wine stomping room on the ground floor, which is actually kind of a veranda. They like to do it out in the open air. There is on the ground floor a number four, a barrel storage, which contains a lot of empty barrels. However, Trish, again, they're Red Dragon Crush and Purple Grape Mash barrels, and they are all empty. 13. That would constitute like half again as many barrels as you've already seen. And this place is not, for a vineyard, it doesn't have a lot of wine. The vats would probably be enough to fill these empty 13, but only just. And they ain't that great anymore. Then on the upper floor, you find a printing press where they make the labels and other stuff, some promotional materials, and a bunch of bedrooms where the family presumably sleep. And there is another room. What's the other one? Master bedroom, wine cellar. Oh, it's a kitchen dining room. Yeah. There is a couple of chests which, do you crack open locked chests in bedrooms?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't break them though.
All right, cool. In which case, can I have a sleight of hand just to break the lock?
Yeah.
Celinox will raise her eyes at that if she sees it.
27. I don't even know if you. I imagine for speed you split
We're in
up.
different parts of the house.
Yeah. I don't know. Would Trish do it if Celinox was there?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You can ask me why.
Yep. Well, in which case, I leave it to you two to decide whether or not Celinox saw it or not. Inside the chest is 50 gold pieces, 270 electrum pieces, and all of them are stamped with the profiled visage of Strad von Zarovich, and 350 silver pieces. These, given that you are looking specifically for this sort of thing, and you did get a 26 or 24, there is a secret compartment in the lid of this chest, which you locate. It contains a gold locket worth 25 gold pieces, which has a portrait of Erwin Martikov in it, but a much younger Erwin Martikov, as in the proprietor of the Blue Water Tavern in Valakai. And a pouch containing 550 gold piece gemstones. There does not, however, have anything looking like a holy symbol of Ravenkite. Celinox, I will say you locate within the master bedroom. Within the kitchen and dining room, there is a desk. This is sort of the living area of the family, and in one corner there is a desk with a whole bunch of shipping records. And within the shipping records, the vast majority are to the following locations: the Blood of the Vine Tavern in the village of Barovia, BW, which is the Blue Water Inn in Valakai, K, which is simply Kresk, and then one is labeled Vistani. And if you flick back through the shipping manifest quite a way, you find some shipments labeled S for Strad.
But not anymore.
It doesn't appear that any shipments have been made to Strad in over 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that is basically what there is to find here. Meanwhile, the blights somewhat ritualistically carry the druid out and bury her. Do you bury the other two or leave them?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay, the 3 druids are buried in relatively shallow graves outside in the tree line. I don't think you probably need to. You probably don't need to oversee it. But that would be what you find. I think we will take a short little breaklet there. And be back in 5 to 10, everybody. Hope you're enjoying this delightfully morally grey situation that I have absolutely made more morally grey than the book does. Because it's more fun to torture the players with. All right, so we will see you very shortly, guys. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
Bye, everybody.
Avast, ahoy, and good day once again to ye mateys. That guy Strider, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Yes, this be Humblestrad, this be Curse of Strahd crossed with Humblewood. Humblewood is a third-party setting by the Hit Point Press. This is the Humblewood book. It's originally a level 1 to 5 adventure with some wonderful, cute little animal people. It's set in the Humblewood in the larger world of the Everden. I backed it on Kickstarter 5 years ago. There now another book is coming out very soon, and a third is on the way. It's proving to be really quite successful and lovely, and it's a really nice setting with some interestingly complicated stuff going on, and Trish Caper was one of the original characters from that first level 1 to 5 adventure that I ran over on Roll for Damage, which was a different channel back then. They still are, what am I talking about? But then I started my own channel because I wanted to just play my own shit more. We now we're up to 156 or 7 episodes, which you can check out on our YouTube if you want to catch up with them. There's a fair amount of watching to be done.
That's a lot of hours there.
There are, each session is about 3 to 4 hours, so yeah. And there has been, since the original campaign, there was a second campaign with a whole different group of people, which was a whole other narrative, which is completely homebrew. And then the part of the original group went off and did Curse of Strahd, and this is season 4 of that adventure, with some new characters. There have been nearly 50 characters played by players in the world, and 30-odd players playing them. So it's a very large and expansive world and system that I freaking love and I'm very, very proud of. And yeah, some of our viewers have been watching it for the entire 3-4 years that we've been at it. Shanahos was definitely there in episode 1. I remembered specifically because Mitch was there. So yeah, it's been lovely all this time. So you are hopefully filled in a little bit. Celinox is a relatively recent addition, but when I say relatively, I mean she's been in it for 4 seasons now. So it's.
But I'm new.
And Bishop Blood was also there since day 1, baby. Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Very loyal followers as well, very loyal viewers, and we appreciate the absolute heck out of them. So, we return to the basement, we return to the Wizard of Wines Winery, which currently is pretty much yours right now. If the Ravens wanted to take it off you, they would struggle. So, mind you, you are both a bit beat up. You come out of the vineyard looking a little bit the worse for wear. Celinox with a nice new stick on her back, though honestly, it looks like a damaged broom. I'll show you a picture, actually. There is a picture in the book, because it's a fairly dope magic item. That is a little picture. The Sun Sword looks fucking sick. That's the Sun Sword there.
Ooh.
It's literally a fucking lightsaber. And, yeah, that there is the stick.
It does look like a broom.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and work out how to fly on
mist.
I wonder if I can fly on it. I'm going to try.
It requires attunement to be able to use any more than you have already.
Okay,
so,
sweet.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Yes. A stick of darkness. It is called the Gulthias Staff. And I believe she said so.
Yeah.
I love you. Let's snappin'. Cool. Alrighty. So yeah, you track back out. You find outside the Martikovs gathered around another druid, who is he's clearly been savaged by a large number of birds. They all look quite sweaty. There is a sheen over them that they have been fighting, and there is a few piles of vines nearby, like they have fought some blights as well. But whilst you were fighting inside, it would appear they were fighting outside. They actually did assist you. Both the brothers who were doing the sort of the deceiving and reconnaissance work for you before are a bit cut up, have got some injuries on them. They'll be fine, but yeah. And Davian Martikov, a Corvum, so a raven man, sort of waves you down and says, "How goes it, my friends? From what we heard, we are in your debt. The Blights, they fled before you. You are truly mighty."
Is the other druid? What's the deal with the other druid? Is he alive?
He would seem to be dead. He is. They killed him.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the brothers, whose name is written down in the book, and I have turned away from the page, Elivas, something like that. The one who was originally the less irritating one, is going through his pockets. And comes out and says, "I have it, father," and holds up an amber stone that pulses gently.
Amber, not green.
This one is amber.
I enjoy waiting for those stings. I was like, "Oh, there's such a nice music sting." Celinox is. Yeah, well, we have taken care of the house. It's safe to come back in. I think we could probably all do with a debrief chat.
Of course.
Maybe over.
My family would happily shout you dinner, maybe some wine.
That sounds good. We do have some things to talk about.
Does Trish want to say anything?
I was gonna say, speaking of wine, maybe check the stuff in the vats before you drink it. It might be compromised.
Yeah, one of the druids was pouring something in. Yeah, I wouldn't trust it. It's not good.
Yeah.
I will have to ask for the abbot to help with that, and that is going to cost us.
Fair bit of raccoon hair in one of them. Couldn't be helped. Sorry.
Maybe a couple of feathers as well.
He notices you're both still a bit wet. The healing, curative properties of swimming in wine is, I can vouch for it, not that great. But he's like, there's a smile, and he says, "Come, my friends, my good friends. My family owes you a great debt. Did they unearth the third stone?"
It's
Almost.
still in the. Yeah, they were close, but it's still in the ground at the moment.
In the basement under the stone flagstones. Yeah, then you got here just in time. Otherwise, the vines would die for good if that one had been removed as well. Thank you. We owe you more than we can repay. But a dinner to begin. Come, family, and they do. They take you inside. Lamps are lit. There is a small amount of wailing and gnashing of teeth regarding the state of the cellar. There's not a whole heap of wine left when they go down to get some for dinner. They're like, "Oh, God damn it." I'm going to say, Trish, unless you very specifically did, you didn't tip out what there was in the purple grape mash barrels in the basement, because your clue was the finest wine.
Yeah, I wasn't doing it deliberately. I was doing a very thorough search, but I wasn't trying to fuck shit up.
No, that was what I was thinking. I was just like, she did say I tipped them over, and I was just like, I don't know if she would, actually. Like, otherwise, the floor would be slick with frozen wine down there. Cool. Alright, it's still like, they lost about a third of the bottles, because of that inspo from Tony, rather than 2/3 of the bottles. But there is not a lot of wine left in this place. However, a hearty meal is prepared, yes, you are toasted, and the whole family sits you around the table upstairs. The fireplace is lit. It is, since your dinner with the Revenants at Argenvostolt, it is probably the nicest dinner you've had since. Like, there is no outside external pressure to be happy, and these people are genuinely grateful and welcoming, and Davian says, from this day forward, Celinox Trish Caper, I would call you family if you would have it. We owe you so much, only that can really repay it. If ever you have need of the ravens of Barovia, you need only call, and we will come. I make this vow as the patria of my family.
That is very, very kind.
There has been, like, if you would have allowed it, a child would have found its way onto your lap. Like, you have been, this is a big family with a big history of, like, family dinners and things. They are, it actually kind of strikes you why Erwin is so kind of heartbroken about the rift between him and his dad, because they are a family, and, yeah, you have been welcomed into it, and, yeah, a couple of the little ones would absolutely have stolen their way onto the new family members' laps. As part of it, you would be being prevailed upon for stories of the wood. If stories are presented, if not, they will happily eat in companionable silence if that's the vibe you would prefer. But yeah, they're taking their leads from you, but very much grateful for you.
Celinox, so as they were going into dinner, sorry, can I just go back a little bit?
Yep.
Everyone was going in to get organized, firstly, Celinox is going to get the other druid buried once they're out of sight.
Yeah.
Secondly, like, not in front of she doesn't really want to see the fourth druid buried with the others. And secondly, she's going to kind of say to Trish, maybe we should have that chat once the kids have gone to bed.
Probably for the best.
And then over dinner, she, like, when the kids first kind of come over to her, she's like, oh. And then, like, by the end of dinner, she's got, like, a kid on each knee. There's maybe a kid on her shoulders as well, or, like, in front of her. And she's telling these highly not for kids' ears stories. But again, it's just, like, occasionally, like, oh, yeah, like, and then they fell over.
Barovian kids are a little bit heartier in terms of I can take blood and guts. They're like, one of the older ones actually says, "No, they didn't. You killed them."
Yeah, when I stabbed him with my stick. She just keeps, like, trying to. She's like,
and
yeah,
they go, yeah, like they stop sanitizing it. They love the gore. And the adults are all, like, not disapproving of this at all. The mother of all the children are the children of one specific woman and her husband, and an odd mix. It's not super common, but it does absolutely happen that that corvums and raptors or other bird folk marry amongst each other. But yeah, the offspring will always be either a corvum or a raptor. It's not going to be a raptor with unusually dark feathers or whatever. And yeah, 2 of the kids are raptors and 2 of the kids are corvum. There is a little corvum baby girl who is still like just out of the nest in her mother's arms, but the other 3 are quite vigorous in their pursuit of both of you, and the family are, all of them treat them with extreme tolerance. It is, yeah. Children are not denied anything here unless it's dangerous for them.
And Celinox will also kind of try and pull them off Trish if she's getting the vibes that Trish doesn't want that.
Yeah.
She'll kind of she'll take on the kid charge or whatever because she knows Trish is in a bit of a
Even if Celinox doesn't, the mother would. Stefiana, I think her name is. Yeah, Stefiana. And her husband Dag are just immediately like, no, leave Miss Caper be. She needs to get another, and like more mashed potato. Is Trish?
They know the way to her heart.
Yeah. It was not in any way. I don't imagine Trish said, "I like mashed potato. Give me that." But it was part of the meal, and it was noticed that Trish dealt with it with particular relish, and so more was heaped onto her plate. How is Trish during the dinner?
Trish will tell some stories to the kids, but she doesn't tell anything personal or anything violent. She's just like talking about the environment and like the mythology. She talks about like the different beliefs, but she doesn't talk about anything personal or anything violent.
Yep.
But yeah, she'll chat with them.
Yeah, cool, excellent. And the family, like both of you are not just sort of honorary members. This is very much oh, you are us, you are like us. Yes, you are welcome here. It's not just thank you so much. This is you can come fucking anytime. Yeah, you are very much appreciated. The children are sent to bed late in the night. There's sort of a half dozen empty bottles of wine on the table by this point, and dishes are being done. You have been shooed away from the sink and any wash and dishing cloths, and you and Davian are left sitting at the table.
Davian's the head of the family, isn't he?
The granddad.
Probably
Probably with Adrian, his eldest son.
It's been a lovely night. Nice to be wanted. We said earlier we wanted to check in with you about. It's just we did speak to a couple of druids. Did you know why they were here?
Beyond the fact that they sought the stones for their own purposes, I don't know. They never mentioned it to us. They did not seem to be in the mood to talk when they arrived with an army of blights.
Yeah, no, it's not a very friendly. I did say that to them. It was not a very friendly way to enter a place.
What did they
Celinox
say?
is going to look at Trish at this point. Celinox gives Trish a very significant look in terms of like, do you want me to handle it? I'm going to handle it nicely, or you want to take over? I don't mind. But she gives Trish a look that says, "What do you want?
Yeah,
me or you?"
They gave us the impression there was a negotiation, but they were also trying not to get murdered. So can't always trust what someone says in that situation.
They said what exactly? That they spoke to me, or they spoke to a raven, or
that they spoke to someone in the family.
I think
it
was
wanted
him.
Was it?
Wasn't it him? I can't remember, but I think it was him.
They said they spoke to a Martikov.
Which one's a Martikov?
They're all
a Martikov. Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Sorry.
They said they spoke to one of your family members about borrowing a stone.
And they were told?
They were told
Categorically not,
no?
I imagine. Yes.
Yeah.
That the family
seemed-
would never surrender them. These are
They
not
seemed-
all my family. These are not all the Matakovs in Barovia. There is Erwin's brood. And you said you were looking for his son, my grandson,
Yes.
that he had not returned home.
Which is still troubling, yes.
I hope you do not disagree with me, but more troubling knowing this. Did they say why they wanted the stones?
To help with crops, to help with food shortage.
Which does sound a bit up druids' alleys. Well, I mean,
It's
I like.
not a bad idea if you don't understand exactly what the stones do. They only
What do they
work
do?
on grapevines.
Oh.
They were created by the Wizard of Wines, the man who started this place. He created them specifically to make grapes grow.
Ah.
Can I roll an insight while I'm sitting back and watching
You
this
certainly can.
conversation?
You certainly can.
Thank you. Fucking. I quit. I wrote another one.
Oh
I got
god.
3. Fuck off.
He appears to be completely honest. Whether or not that is
now
because
I think
you
he's
roll.
being dishonest.
Yeah, I know. I was like, whether or not that's because you roll poorly or because you. Trish is welcome to make that check as well. Let's put it that way.
Why not? Let's take a look.
Wine, not
Put me out of
indeed.
my misery. Oh.
7, not much better.
You do have inspiration, but he seems honest. Trish, you have some magical affinity now. It's very, very basic. It's very, very instinctive. So I will allow you to make a nature check because you have not handled one, but gone very, very close to one of these stones, unless you actually did pick it up.
We've both handled one, I think, from not this one, but the old one.
That is true.
The one that
is
we
true.
got from the Baba. So we have touched them.
Fuck it. Inspos are made to be used.
Do
I'm
it
re-rolling that nature check.
for another 3. Yeah.
Ah!
Oh my!
I simply was not meant to know.
He's,
Tell me whatever you want to tell me, man. I'll believe you.
he strikes you that he is telling 100% the truth. Yeah. Maybe the druids could modify them. Maybe the druids thought they could modify them. Maybe the druids are insane. Maybe... Erwin says, so they plan to take the stones from here and plant them somewhere else to improve crop production.
That's what they said.
Their
Not that he-
argument was wine or feeding children, which I
take that
I can
point.
see their perspective.
Yeah, no, except it won't work, but I do see the logic. So, they spoke to a Martikov. I see no reason to disbelieve them on this. And they want to... We are missing a stone and have not found it in years. It has been gone a long time.
Well, they did
I-
say that they
Did
sent
they
one,
say...
but
Yes.
I think that might have been the one in the pocket.
Yes, we saw this one trying to sneak away. That is why, well, look. We have not had a good couple of days, and things got a little out of hand. But then, look, I don't think I'm getting a huge amount of judgment from it on you. I don't care how good their intentions were, because frankly, they threatened the lives of my grandchildren. So... They want to save people, feed children. Well, then you can start with mine. Did they say where they were from?
They did.
Because I
Celinox
have a
is gonna
mind to
look
go
at
and talk
Trish
to them
again.
myself.
Well, I got the distinct impression that if someone showed up without a pretty it wouldn't end well unless they liked what you had to say, is what I got this distinct impression of. I wondered if we went at some point, had a chat with them as a neutral party, if they had a way to make crops grow from your stones. They might have some magic shit they can do.
Did they say
Could
they were
they-
doing anything else with them?
They
Well,
said they
yeah,
were raising an army.
to fight Strahd, which I'm also kind of okay with.
An army of blights. An army of creatures of Barovia. To fight
Yeah, so
essentially the god of Barovia.
they reckon they've taken his power over them.
Oh,
I don't know how that would hold up when you were actually fighting the man himself, but that's their theory.
I would be... My family is a shadow of what it was. The predations of a bunch of insane druids notwithstanding, we were not doing amazingly well before. The return of a second stone is going to change things, make things better. The vines may start to recover now, and if we can restore that which is in the vats, the shipments can recommence soon. That was all that was delaying the shipment of Kresk. Was we're waiting on the next batch, basically. It doesn't happen overnight, and new wine is not good wine. Particularly red. Takes a couple of years. So I will have to send to the abbot to come and well, I don't want the man here. If you know of a cleric, I would be grateful. But what I am sort of fluttering around is I can't pay you. But if you found yourselves wherever these druids are going, maybe look for my grandson there. And if they are looking for these stones, perhaps the easiest one to find would be the one that we lost. Could well be that they have found it already. So, if they have one and they figured out a way to make it work, I will make you this deal. You have the alliance of the were-ravens of Barovia. If these druids actually can control the blights of the Zarovich Woods against Strahd himself, then a valuable ally, perhaps. So, taking all 3 gems, even for a moment, will kill all divines here. They're dead. No retrieving, no saving. But we have staggered along moderately well with a single stone. One can be lent for a short time. Raise crops with it. This is a band-aid on an open wound. But raise an army with it? This would be worth the sacrifice, I would agree. So, if you go, you find my grandson alive and unharmed, or he is not there and they have done him no ill, and I am jumping to conclusions, and my grandson is fine and off flirting with some tale, at which point his father will have words with him, but I have no particular beef, then I will be prepared to make deal with these people, and perhaps an alliance of greater proportion can be formed.
And I want to be clear, we by no means trust them. Anyone who breaks into a family's home and threatens children isn't trustworthy. I just wanted to get to the bottom of this.
As you are no doubt learning, Barovia is not an easy place. Trust comes hard. People like you earn it. These druids did not. They did not trust, and we did not either, and we had no reason to. And neither did they. If they asked Amatikov, hey, can we borrow one of your gemstones? Of course the answer was going to immediately be no. There was no Martikov, none, would ever have even considered it. Even I, unless, presented with significant thought. So, that is the offer I can make on behalf of us. And if it can rid us of this evil, then a good sacrifice. And then we get the stones back afterwards. That is also part of the deal. And if they have the other, then we get both.
Seems fair. Celinox sits back. She's like ready to keep drinking now. She's like, done. All right, cool. I can move off this. But yeah.
I have one more thing to ask. We are searching for a few items in our own quest to defeat Strahd.
Of course. Then ask, because I have eyes literally everywhere.
We're supposed to find a holy symbol in a cask of the finest wine that has been long empty. Naturally, this seemed like the place to look.
Wise. This is not the only place to find wine in Barovia, though. The taverns, but they have probably all run dry. You seek the finest wine. I hate to tell you, but probably the only other place to find the Champagne Le Stomp would be Castle Ravenloft.
That's not the answer I wanted.
I'm sorry. You could, of course, look in the other empty long time, maybe the other taverns. The Burgomeister's mansions of... I am reasonably confident I can state without too much difficulty that we have never shipped Champagne Le Stomp to Kresk. They can't afford it. So, not in cask size, anyway. The occasional bottle for a wedding or something, but no, mostly no. Valakai, quite wealthy, and Barovia's Burgomeister himself, perhaps, but I am afraid if you're looking for large, empty barrels of fancy wine, Castle Ravenloft is probably the place you are looking.
Sorry, mate. The champagne de Stomp, it gets made here, yeah?
Yes, but we have not been able to produce it since we lost the third stone.
But you shipped it to Strahd?
Not I myself. I believe the shipment stopped with my great-grandfather.
Well, what stopped him? I mean, I know now you don't see eye to eye.
A change of opinions. The realization that he was not the hero we were looking for, but a villain. That is all I can say, as I did not actually consult my great-grandfather on the subject. By the time I was old enough to inquire, he was long dead. And my grandfather simply followed his father's wishes, and to good effect.
Yeah, seems fair.
But the family of vintners is hardly an army. So we wait, we bide our time, we help there we can, we do what we can, but we can't help anyone if we're dead. A resistance movement has to exist to resist.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Unfortunately, we are maybe waiting for you. You have already found a very shiny sword. It suits you, he says to Trish. Do you know whose blade it was?
Whose was it?
Strahd's brothers. Sergei.
Interesting.
Sergei has something over beef with his brother too, so appropriate, I think. He must approve, otherwise you would not be able to wield it.
Well, I look forward to using it for its intended purpose.
Well, my friends... Oh, what was the other thing you were looking for? You have sword, you seek the symbol. Was there a third?
The third was the ally, wasn't it? Like a...
There was the ally, but there is also...
shifty ally.
Yes. There is also a book. The Tome. The Tome of Strahd.
All right, well, I'll tell...
And you had figured out... Smoothie suspected at an Ardea shrine. But if you mention that to him, yeah.
I will.
The Shrine of Ardea. A strange place for Strahd to misplace his own book. But there aren't many. A pool in Kresk, though. Beneath the Abbey of St. Markovia, she was a worshipper of Ardea, as is the abbot. Not very good, but he does it. You know the abbot, I believe. Quite insane.
Yes.
Do you know his nature?
What do you mean?
He is not just a worshipper of Ardea. He is the word, I believe, is Astorial.
Oh, yes. Yes, we're aware of that.
He is the only one I have ever encountered that can't come and go, but mighty, not one to cross, which is why he gets a part of every shipment we send to Kresk. But that means he owes me, so he can bloody well come and fix my wine, if he wants more.
Was there also from the I just went very far back, but is there also the thing we seek lies with the dead under mountains of gold coins? Or was that before we...
There was a retcon.
The Sword of Sunlight?
There was a retcon.
That was a retcon. Okay,
Yeah.
that one doesn't exist. Okay, cool.
It corrected to the Ardea Shrine.
Ardea
Otherwise,
Shrine. Right.
two of the three of the things you were looking for would have been in Ravenloft.
Right, okay.
So
we've got so we've got the Sword of Sunlight, which we've already found. The Charlatan, which is the ally.
The dodgy ally.
The Charlatan is the ally. The Charlatan was the lonely mill on a precipice. The treasure lies within. You got that one. Strahd's enemy was the Horseman, a man of death named Aragal, who will serve your cause, but beware, he has a rotten soul. And the last card was where you will find Strahd when you choose to face him. Your enemy is a creature of darkness whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. The Dark Lord. He lurks in the depths of darkness, in the one place in which he must return. Irina has not been mentioned in this setting, Terrace, but tune in next week.
Okay, so is there any point asking about Aragal?
You can ask about Aragal, yeah.
Yeah.
Vistana.
Yeah.
I can put out some feelers for this one. I don't keep track of every single Vistana, but tracking down a particular one would not be overly difficult. He is... I know of the man. Nasty piece of work, but a useful ally if you can convince him. You don't know any other Vistana?
We might.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
There are-
current their membership card is.
Yeah.
Well, that's... I don't know the man well enough to be able to tell you, but that could be either really useful or really not useful. But there is a well-known Vistana camp at Valakai, a little way out of town. That one, however, I can put out feelers for very easily. If a raven appears near you with a little piece of paper clutched in its claws, be gentle, maybe give him a biscuit.
I'm sure I can find something for him.
And
Well,
if you
thanks
ask him
then.
about the location, he would say that would definitely be the crypt in Ravenloft.
Oh,
You have
so
consulted
that's where
the
he
cards.
sleeps. Yeah, yeah.
Then you must have met at least one Vistana.
Yes.
It is a Vistani tradition that has taken root somewhat in Barovia, though none of mine dabble. It is somewhat magic. I believe the magic, however, though, to be inherently tied to Strahd. But
So,
don't
does that
mistake
mean-
that everything tied to that being is evil. To my mind, evil is one's actions. Power is power. It's not good or bad. It's what you use it for that makes it.
yeah.
Otherwise, I would be damned my own self. So I have to believe it.
Yeah. I think we have a friend who usually believes the best in people.
A rare thing in this place.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it's getting rarer.
Yes.
Thanks for being so frank with us. It's
Oh.
appreciated.
Well, you are family.
Celinox does oh fuck, what are they called? The birds. The perch guard salute
Oh.
in response to
he
it. Sounded
frowns a
at the
little
heart.
bit.
and then-
Yeah. He frowns a little bit and then he understands, sort of like, oh. He gets up and he's an older bird. It's a little bit of creaking. It's old. It's cold. There is he obviously isn't as comfortable moving as he a younger man would be. But he gets up. He moves over to you, leaning on the table, and he wraps his wings around you.
I hug him back.
Your family, are you close with them?
I like to think so. We had a difference of opinion just before I showed up over here. But I love
Those
them a
can
lot.
be hard.
Right.
I hope to meet
I'm
them
sh-
one day. Your father must be very proud.
Yeah, he was.
And
After those arguments, it's I don't know. In our family, we always someone hands an olive branch, I guess you could say. It's worth it for your family.
an eyebrow is raised. You have spoken with Erwin.
He misses you, and I know if I could see my well,
I understand.
If it was indeed a druid or a blight that stole this stone, then I could believe it was not a failing on his part. I am a stubborn old bird. I have been for many years. But you are right. I shall write to him in the morning.
Thanks.
No, the thanks is once again mine. You are good people. And Brovir is better for you here. Even if you were not here to rid us of Strahd, it would still be a better place for you. And then he would hobble over to Trish with a searching look of, like, he is meaning to hug you too. But he is determining whether or not it would be accepted.
Crucial hug.
He says, and your mother and father as well. Very proud people. They must be.
I hope so.
I have no doubt. Well, I am old, and I have drunk too much wine. I will leave you to your rest. I believe a bed has been made up for you. Sleep well, my new friends. And he takes his leave. And that evening, Trish, as you are sort of preparing to bed down for the night, the time difference between Barovia and the Humblewood, you get a sending from Smoothie. A little bit panicked, a little bit excited. Trish, I didn't write down exactly what it was he said, but something along the lines of, check your hand, I think we figured it out.
I do so.
Is it still there?
Is it?
It is indeed still there.
Yes.
You don't hear the response because... but he goes, damn it! You hear nothing for about 5 minutes. Would you do anything? You have both been placed in... they have made up sort of camp beds in the printing press room. So it's quite comfortable, but it's not fancy, but it's actually a bed, which, you know, better than a lot of the sleeping accommodation you've had for the last week. It lasts for about 5 minutes. You're sharing a room, so Celinox is probably in there too. And then about 5 minutes later, if you don't do or say anything, you feel a shiver run through you. And you get another message. How about now?
I check.
There was a definite, like, a feeling of, you know, when you kill somebody and you feel like the clock reset? It was definitely like that. It was not the same sensation, but it was like that, like something eased, like a pressure that you weren't aware of fades. However, the mark on your hand is still there.
I'm confused. What's going on?
I don't think he did cast another sending to respond, but I know for a fact that he didn't spend any more magic that day, so he sends back. I think that did it, but I may have to do another spell on you when I get back. We found the guy, and he's broken it.
Who was it?
Yeah, why not? He says, "It was just some guy. I'll explain when I get back. Cash helped me figure it out. He wasn't to blame." It's about 25 words. Out of spells would be the last 3.
Trish is just in shock/confusion.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to get a lot of sleep tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. They have lifted a curse from you. That you know. Last question. Celinox, would you, over this long rest, attune to the Gulthia, the Gulthia staff?
So yeah, Celinox, when she's getting ready for bed or whatever, she might actually go somewhere where she had some privacy.
Yep.
And she's actually going to try and talk to it.
Ooh. Make me... I will let you choose which skill, obviously it has to be a logical choice, but which skill would you use to communicate with this staff? And I tell you what, make a perception check before you do.
Okay. Perception is 9.
The dent you cleaved into it is leaking. When you struck it with your rapier, it is leaking a sort of a... it would be a dark orange fluid.
All right. So I'm...
like sap, like very sticky, very viscous.
Okay, cool. So if I notice that first, before I try and talk to it, I'm going to go back. I don't know what's going on with Trish, so I'm going to...
Trish is sitting on her bunk looking at her hand, obviously looking a bit down and a bit weird.
Trish, sorry, I don't know, but I was wondering if you could have a look at... I thought you might be able to... it's bleeding... because I know Trish does fix it stuff, not quite as well as Esmeralda on Armory, but I thought
she could maybe scroungecraft a solution to this.
Yeah.
Trish, would you maybe try and scroungecraft a bandage?
Sure. Why not? Okay, sure.
It's Arcana, but you can use the proficiency and I think expertise from your sleight of hand. So it's an intelligence check with your expertise. So a +8 to an Arcana check.
Okay.
18.
Which would make that an 18?
Yeah, that's not bad. How do you go about fixing this? So this is you've seen the picture, it's basically like a black broomstick with wisps of little wisps of black smoke wafting around it. Wasps, like tiny bees. And the staff is like the actual trunk of it is inscribed with runic symbols like what you have seen in elemental magic that seem to move and shift. Their meaning probably pretty impenetrable to you, but Celinox could actually take a stab at it. She hasn't looked officially at it yet, and her perception was quite low. But what do you do?
So what I do is I take the stick and I go outside. And as I go down the stairs, I'm like, she fixes one suit of armor and suddenly she's better at everything than me. I mean, it's not as if I grew up in a shop where I fix things. It's not as if I've been fixing things since I was a child, but all right. And as I mutter this, I find a stick of kind of similar composition, and I whittle at it until I have some like sawdust. I pack the wound with sawdust and then seal it with sap from the same branch. And I give it like a nice sand down so it looks pretty. And I'm like, there, fixed.
Thank you. You're the best.
Celinox didn't follow, was just sort of like, I'll just wait up here. She's clearly a bit mad.
I didn't intend for that to be heard by Trish, but I love it, so I'm going to keep it.
Yeah.
Just when we were getting along.
Sorry, I've upset. Smoothie has upset her.
Yeah, you had a bad night.
It would have been fine if she hadn't been maybe cured of her curse that makes her kill someone every 3 days. Furious.
Yeah, like Celinox is like very grateful, like over grateful, because she's confused.
Yeah.
And then she kind of thinks about it. She doesn't have any potato to give her or anything, so she like goes out on the veranda.
Fuck, where's some potato? It goes to the kitchen, gets some leftover mashed potato.
So I guess trying to speak to it, I was thinking about the skill, and I think at the moment I don't necessarily know enough about it but I'm thinking possibly investigation in terms of like looking at the ruins and working out something about its form and then being able to communicate with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Make me an investigation check.
8. And I don't have anything to burn. Someone in chat would like to give me an inspiration so I can roll again. I would love that.
If it happens before, if it happens, Trish, after this, what do you do? Go back upstairs and continue looking at your hand?
I'm gonna go to bed and try to sleep and fail probably and just stare up at the ceiling.
Let the horrific rolls continue. Thanks, Shanahouse. Good on you, mate. 18! Yay! There you go. You study the staff, and as a birdfolk, as a strig, you speak primordial, or at least understand a form of primordial. Thank you very much, Abus. A D4 as well, presumably for Celinox, because this is not the last check she's going to have to make, maybe. To help out as well. Thank you very much, Abus. And whilst birdfolk do not instinctively know how to speak Auran, which is the form of primordial that you do speak, you do understand it. This is not Auran. This is Terran. This is the language of the magic of Earth. And it is a dialect, essentially. You cannot read it, but you do feel an instinctive sort of understanding of it. Like, you don't know what it says specifically, but you do know that it is what its purpose is. I have already determined. I already said what the Terran noises are. This one, when you are staring at it, it says "Terris Prima." In your mind, you hear a very clear, booming voice say "Terris Prima." It actually said it to Terrace the last time, or something similar to it. Yeah. And you feel a notion of control. Yeah, it said it to Rabbit. Sir Terrace Prima. Yeah. That is what it feels like, and it kind of opens itself up to you a little bit. You learn what it is capable of achieving as you bond with it. And through it, you feel that this is not a particularly nice thing. It has two abilities. It is made from a branch of the Gulthius tree. It is a spongy black length of wood. It makes beasts visibly uncomfortable around it. The staff has 10 charges and regains 1d6 plus 4 of its expended charges every day at dusk. If the staff is broken or burned to ashes, its wood releases a terrible inhuman scream. And it has two abilities. Vampiric Strike. The staff can be wielded as a magic quarterstaff. I'll send you this. I'll put it in your ability. I'll put it in your D&D Beyond. On a hit, it deals damage as a normal quarterstaff. So 1d6 or 8, depending if you're wielding it two-handed, plus your strength modifier, so it's a decent weapon for you. And you can expend one charge to regain a number of hit points equal to the damage dealt by the weapon. Each time a charge is spent, red blood oozes from the staff's pores. And Blight Bane. While you are attuned to the staff, blights and other evil creatures don't regard you as hostile unless you harm them. However, as you bond with it, you understand almost instinctively that the reason you can bond with it is because its magic stems from the same source yours does. I am sorry, I have made a cock-up. It's not Terrace Prima. It's not Terran. It is Nocturne. It is the language of the plane of death. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart.
Nice.
I forgot there were two other fucking planes. It is definitely death magic. And, yeah, it is Nocturne. And it says Corpus Rex. Slight retcon that's try to go. The effect is the same. It is about control. Yeah.
Corpus Rex. No, I was just in my head. I had been like Terrace Prima, land first, maybe. Corpus Rex is a bit trickier in my brain, but I'm hoping it's body first or something.
Rex is Rex is king.
Oh, okay. So king of death, or king of dead, or king of body.
Yeah.
Fun times. All right. Ooh. I don't know how I feel about bonding with you.
Delicious.
I don't.
Yeah, actually, I apologize. There is a little bit more. Each time you use a charge, the charge is spent, red blood oozes from the staff's pores, and you must succeed a DC 12 wisdom save or be afflicted with a short-term madness.
Ah, okay. That's what the wisdom saves were for. Okay.
Oh, no, those were to exercise control over the blights. That is an extra thing I have added on for this particular thing before you were attuned to it.
Right.
And you passed both with flying colors.
All right. So as I attune, I'm also going to kind of, I'm trying to...
It is not a cursed weapon. You can unattune from it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Power taken is power given.
I'm trying to I'm trying to feel if I feel someone else's awareness of that. In terms of when I'm attuning with the staff, I can feel that it's from Strahd's power, but can I feel Strahd, or can I just feel his power in the staff?
Make an insight or arcana.
Insight, please.
Oof, you have a d4.
Yeah, I might use my D4 as well,
This is lovely.
please.
Come on, big money. 3. 3 is pretty good. 14. You feel the vague... Oh, you are very lucky. Yes, you feel the vaguest sense that you get a sense of approval that doesn't come from the staff, but from a twitch in your mind. Your pulse increases. Out of nowhere. You're like getting a fight or flight.
She goes to bed.
Very well. You go to bed, and Trish tries to go to sleep too. Trish, make a wisdom save. That is
15.
the dice once again doing some interesting storytelling. Trish, 15 was the number it needed. Unless you actively disagree with me, I would say Trish gets the first good night's sleep she's had in a little minute. Like a weight has been lifted from her. I don't know if she's
Fair
had
enough.
a dream about her mum and dad since she came here, but she does tonight, unless you want to say otherwise.
Well, she's very confused and very tired, so
Didn't sleep well last night either, so yeah.
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 Avis, I've considered it. I need to actually get in contact with the Hit Point Press, because I've been running this since the book came out, and looking at some of the lore in the new book that's coming out, I'm like, I feel like they've been watching. Because a lot of it is very in line with either I picked up what they were putting down real well, or they've been paying attention. Or I'm just blowing my own horn. But I think we'll leave it there. Guys, that was a very interesting session and a very interesting evening. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a lovely time. I hope you had a good time. Ro, thank you so much for sticking with it. Can I get hearts in chat for Ro? Because Ro was not very well this weekend, and like a champion said, no, I'm going to play anyway. So we appreciate the heck out of it. Thank you very much, Ro. Now we're going to do what we like to do at the end of our streams. We're going to do our favorite moments, which is something we like to do. It's something we've borrowed from the Dreaded GM, and yeah, it's lovely. It's affirming, and I've started doing it with the games I play offline. I'm a professional DM, and I get paid to play all over the place, and I've started introducing it with some of the roleplay groups I play with there, because it's lovely and it's affirming and it helps in creative growth. So, if we could get a D3 in chat, please, to determine which one of us we get to flatter first. Yes, we are. I'm very glad. Yeah, a 1. Shanna. You see, the thing is, I'm the person who gets to decide what a 1 means. But in this instance, it's very clear that it's me, because Shanna's already sort of noted that. Yeah. All right, go on then, flatter me. Tell me how good I am or whatever. I don't know.
I liked the conversation with Mr. Martikov. He's an interesting character, and it was just good. A good vessel through which to learn more about the world.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's good.
Thank you.
I enjoyed around the blights, where when they're looking at us in a couple of different ways, like from down in the basement, and it was just nice tension building to have them like look at us and we're like, oh, we think we've got this, and for a second but I'm not sure. And the same down in the basement as well, when they were like, they had their claws up, they look at you and it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the blights are an interesting one. My favorite meme moment, I did not anticipate you picking up and bonding with the spear, with the staff. I was just like, this is a very potent evil thing. But like Davian Martikov said, evil is as evil does. It's just not a very nice thing. So yeah, that was really cool. And first hint of, I think that's the first time I've said anything Nocturnian. The language of death hasn't really come up, so yeah, that's kind of neat. But yeah, I love throwing you guys for a 6 with fuck, it's way more complicated than we thought, and actually the druids might not be evil bastards. Yeah. Bishop Blood's taking a victory lap in chat for having called it, and I'm like, you only know half the story, Bishop Blood. I love throwing a 6, but I love throwing 2 even more. So yeah, there's still more bullshit to find out, and also sneaky hint. Yes, Irina next week, but we will be having Ellie back for more Esmeralda action, and Esmeralda is going to Barovia, as in Barovia, not Barovia. We are in Barovia. But the town is Barovia, and Ellie B and Van Richten will be going there, and Van Richten has an idea about somebody they might want to meet. So yes, glorious. Well, I have been flattered. I've been flattered very much. I think there was a really lot from Josh kind of putting the small tidbits in, really created the scenes with Trish and Celinox. Example, the small details with the bandage. Yeah, that was cool. I like the bandage. Refusing the bandage. I can't scroll. Enjoyed the seemingly bad guy druid preaching a reasonable argument. Reasonable enemies are the worst, and I love them. Hope those Humblewood people do watch this. Yeah, look, I would love to write a book with them, and like a book of notes of how does convert established published modules by the Wizards of the Coast to Humblewood. The recruitable druids, the prophecy, yes. Yeah, cool, excellent. The blight sitting on the bucket menacing.
Yeah, that was good.
I imagine that one very much a baby Groot, like a sort of teenage Groot, like,
Yeah.
Alrighty, can I have a D2 in chat, please? Because we need to now flatter the ladies. My book's over there. There. We get a 1. That's Rach. That's Trish. Favorite Trish moments, everybody.
I really enjoyed Trish's switch with the reveal about the druids being potentially not evil. And then that little conversation afterwards where Trish was just like, we just keep fucking things up.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that moment, and that, that was great.
Yes, absolutely. I was excited for... I was like, no, I really want Smoothie's message to come through today, so I'm going to push for it. And it was fun. It wasn't a perfect replication of what Smoothie, the conversation Smoothie had. The plan was that I would take a screen grab of what Jack said and what I said in response on behalf of Trish, but I kind of like this better because I knew I wasn't going to get it right. But yeah, that was really cool. Operating a very large and complicated world is hard. I also really, really loved grumpiness about, I'm not good at fixing stuff as Esmeralda, so I'm going to...
Everyone in chat is saying how much they love the sass around fixing this stuff.
They were only bad guys. Even the wereprowler, all the wereprowlers were big. Yeah, I'm sure they were all really bad when we killed them. It's really hard, and it's lovely seeing how Trish misses the uncomplicated nature of murdering elementals. There's just nothing. I was like, yeah, look, they came to burn down my home, and I'm gonna kill them, and they don't really have souls, so it's okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Favorite self?
I always like being very mad in combat. It's fun for me. I have a good time swearing at vines, describing the angry sword movements. Always fun. Love a good combat banger.
Yep. I really like how you lean into the wild magic. It's not the most optimal choice, but it makes sense for Trish, and it's really fun. In Beast Heart's always better, but wild magic is fun, and that opening up Trish to being magical when Trish is so openly despises magic, it's really fun. No soul, no problem. Yes. Little Ginger Fox looks nervously around to the corner of the room. The lightsaber stab, and then the laser blast. Yes, the laser blast. The Iron Man chest laser was fun.
Yeah, and I also loved Rachel's reaction to the laser blast. Like,
yes.
As you were reading it, you got so excited, and I loved that.
That was good.
Yeah, Led Snappin says my druid persona felt threatened. Yes, that guy Strider, there is very much a parallel campaign. They are on season break right now, but they operate on Thursday nights, and it is 2 4-people crews going on simultaneously, with Trish's in-world best friend, Kesh, is the leader of the other group, and it is, technically, they are currently actually about 3 months apart in the lore. Because the others have had a bit of a season break, have had a bit of a time to rest and recuperate. So they're a little bit ahead, and Cash has just survived an assassination attempt. She's kind of big and important. She's number 2 of the entire military apparatus of the Wood. Were you to return, she'd be Celinox's boss. Or one of them, which is kind of neat. But yeah. Laser Barbarian is fun, yes. Yeah, it's all on the YouTube. If you want to check that out, it's there. The other one is called Of Elements and Evil, and it is all about a brewing elemental war, and it's a fully homebrewed campaign set in the Humblewood. But in my Humblewood, where there is another 2 elemental planes and another lot of bullshit and fuckery. Yeah, alrighty. We've had a favorite self, so let us go to favorite row moments. Favorite moments, everybody. What do we fancy? And I need a D1 in chat, please, because obviously. I'm sorry, I completely lost my train of thought there and zoned out in my mid-favorite moments. There is also so many other standalone adventures in the world. We don't even use D&D for all of them, because Terrace plays in another campaign that is based out of the wizard school, and it's all about wizards doing odd jobs around the place, and it's kind of fun, but it's canon in the world. It's very large and complex. So favorite romance. Chatting with Daddy Mardukov. It's gotta be Erwin. It's gotta be, hey, you need to talk to your son. That was very cool. She is such a big heart that she does a lot of... she works really hard to hide.
I really liked the apprehensive way you took control of the plants. Because, obviously very useful, but also... Yikes. And stuff like, stay, good plant. Cracked me up. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
I think myself was probably I think, and it comes from a favorite moment that I had for you as well, Josh, in terms of the interactions with the staff. I thought that was really cool that I was the one who got to pick it up, and I really enjoyed doing the little kind of thing with it and what she might do with it. And then I think my favorite moment was probably asking. I enjoy playing with the whole Strahd connection thing. So I liked asking whether I was able to feel something from him in there. And then also and then like I say, it comes back to a favorite that I had for you as well in terms of the response to that. So I just that.
Yeah.
That was it. One of your one of your new extra thumbs is green. That was the
Yeah,
comment.
that was hilarious from
It was
Rach.
such a good line. Yeah, that was what I gave you the
good.
default for.
Yeah, that was so good.
Using that green thumb. Yeah. Not liking the kids, but then having a swarm of them. I don't get the impression she doesn't like kids. I actually think Celinox is quite good with kids, but...
But I start standoffish. It's the same thing as, like, every time I'm always like, oh yeah, she pretends she's not. And then she's like, oh yeah, actually,
she's a big
story time.
Yeah.
Story time with Celinox.
Yeah. Hedgehog piggybacks. But it took a little while. They had to wear her down. Polydactyly. Yeah. There's a lot going on here. So Trish has been cursed for almost 120 episodes. Probably more, to be honest. It was, I think, early season 2. No, it was before the Bandit Coalition was even disbanded, wasn't it? It was. I think it was late season 1 or early season 2.
I'm not sure. It happened during that wedding.
Oh no, it was the wedding. It was the wedding. That was the end of season 3.
Yeah.
It was end of season 3.
Yeah.
It was a crossover. So yeah, probably the best part of 110, 115 episodes she's been cursed for. And Smoothie may have fixed it. It's taken a while. And she may not have to eat Strahd's heart after all. Which would be super nice, and I'm sure she's glad not to have a Strahd smoothie. Yeah, cool. Alrighty, well, guys, we should go away from here now, because it's been streaming for a while, and I promised it wouldn't be that long a one. Yes, this is season, technically 10, Strider. May not need to, but yeah. It sounds delicious. Astradi. Alrighty, well, we will go away from here and find somebody to raid. Shrogrill is streaming. That's a blast from the past. So Shrogrill has appeared in this world, so I think that would be a kind of a nice and appropriate person to raid. So we will drop a raid over on Shrogrill. Shro is one of the players I first played with over on Roll for Damage, which is where this campaign began. So kind of a nice little place to take us back to. Shro is a lovely being. She's a WA-based person as well. She's doing some arts. And yeah, it'd be nice to drop a raid over there. Say hi to Shro. She is, grills don't exist on the internet, so she is bringing that back apparently. Schrodinger's grill is, I believe, the intention. And guys, who the absolute heck have you been this evening? Ro, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Ro. I'm a Perth-based educator and theatre maker. You can catch me here on Mondays with Corsairs Cove, and also over on Jack Square Peg. On June 6th, we have our Trouble Over Yonder series coming out, so that's exciting. I am on Instagram at Cradventurers to see photos of my dog Charlie with the big ears, my many travel adventures, and upcoming projects in the meat space when there are some.
Hell yeah. Gotta love that meat space. I put a link up there for Jack as well. Jack is also one of our players here. He will be back in 3 weeks for more Smoothie as part of this campaign. He was the one who fixed the curse. And yeah, he has his own channel, Jack Squarepeg. Check it out. Really good. Rach, who the absolute heck are you?
Hello, my name is Rachel Fukar. I'm a writer, actor, creative trash at large. You can find me on various social media at Rachel Fukar, and you can find my brand new book, Hybridize, right here on the internet. Here's the thing. It's cyberpunk, murder mystery. On the moon, body modification. People have robot arms, weird gorilla bits, weird freaky body horror stuff. And if that sounds like it's up your alley, you should check it out.
Hell yeah.
Or I will spill all of your wine while I search your house for vague magical items.
Well, I've already got the book. My wine is safe.
Yep.
Fuck. Now I just need to read it. That's cyber fucked.
It is cyber fucked. I'm not gonna lie.
I
haven't gotten to the gorilla bits.
I have in my head, not the gummed up buttons, but it's not the
Not
my
wine! You're a monster! I'm not the monster, I'm an author. You are. And Mesdames, Monsieur, Dame und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends, like Rach and Ro and others. We play lots of D&D, mostly D&D, but we dabble in other systems as well, Major Magica being a particular favorite, and Jason Statham's Big Vacation is so fucking good. If you haven't availed yourself of that already, I swear it is excellent. Again, on our YouTube, check it out. It's a one-shot and it was great fun. I will be back, not this Friday, but next over on the Law Rights channel, !Ardana. For some more Vaesen. We are wrapping up the last sort of 3-shot that we played with Zach and Jess and Terrace, and then we will be starting a new one the week after, I believe, which is going to be quite exciting. Another mystery of Nordic horror. So if you like the horror, this is the place to come, either there or Jack Square Peg or here. We get all of the fantasy horror stuff. It has been a joy having you all in chat today. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. We are affiliated with a couple of wonderful groups of beans. Firstly, Wooten Forge. Wooden Forge Gaming Accessories create some of the finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, like this gorgeous Jared Dice Keeper here. It's got very strong magnets. It's got a rolling tray on the top, and it's laser engraved with their logos. You can get personalized stuff done. They've started recently doing color printing on the wood. And you can get a picture of your character. If you have commissioned artwork, you can get a character print of your character on the box that you then play with. I strongly endorse. I think it's really pretty. Their stuff is amazing. Check it out, woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. We are also affiliated with Troll Games. They provide us with a whole bunch of fun giveaways for their online shop, which is trolllord.com. They have their own system, Castles and Crusades, which is like D&D, but uses a totally different control system. Really good fun. Check it out at trolllord.com, where they have all of their stuff. And if you subscribe at the moment, I believe they're giving away the player handbook in PDF, so you can just check it out and learn. Really good stuff. Check them out, trolllord.com. I think that's about all we need to talk about. The music was by Sirenscape. They're excellent too. Check their shit out at sirenscape.com if you like having music for your games. It's really handy and it's an excellent resource, and very reasonably priced. And yeah, I think we'll go and raid Shrogrill now. So tell Shrogrill where you came from, show them the love like we always do, and we will see you same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow evening for some more Baldur's Gate 3 as Karen and I work our way through that. Well, Karen works her way through that and I talk shit and paint minis next to her. So we will go away from here now. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.